I've realized that I need to be crystal clear about what I believe, so there's no room for ambiguity.
Listen up, Anita keeps denying the pussy, bitch. You'll find me it's not like these fucking who get down on their knees and go shrine to the pussy, please. Cause how am I supposed to even compete with African wildebeest? This slut married a millionaire, took most of the hair that grows on his head. She just wanted to date a tramp and shoot heroin. Trust me, she'd come drain Froggy fresh too if I didn't boot her from the main event. We never faking, never go woke. Tell you, been awakened. Man, she's one with the pigs. How can she hate bacon? And she'd say something like, if you ain't earned your strike, boy, I guess it's there for the taking. I took 2 shots right to the hippocampus. Shook like a bitch while my bitch spread her fat puss. Took 2 shots right to the hippocampus. And started crying right before I get the canvas. Damn, that's a motherfucking. Can you remember when you weren't such a dude, I thought you were actually funny when you weren't such a fucking. Nothing but a. Everywhere I go, look at this damn. Now that's straight up.
I don't think anyone deserves that level of cruelty or hate. It's also indoctrinated a lot of people into thinking that this is an okay way to behave.
I got bullied for my packed lunch when I was at school. Dropped my head in the toilet, grabbed a chain and then pulled. One day I called him here. I thought it would be cold. 20 years later, I don't throw punches, I prep bowls. And my wife's fucked at least 100 of the same fools. They stretch the bitch open with their medical tools.
Shut the fuck up, Ian, and sit on the cock stool.
My head's still in the toilet, eating all the soft stool. You dumb bitch, how can you display the gash to everyone at the motherfucking creator clash? So guess they finally grasped that G-rated ass is worth 20 times more than a chin made of glass. You can still taste dried up jizz on this beta cash. Let's just say some niggas became attached. Ian dropped the keys, dropped the paper stash. Didn't even leave here with my name attached. That's all in the past, I'm the future of this bitch. Why else would they call me Beta Max? Man, the beast is a blast. Sometimes we sit back and laugh and just freeze frame the moment that my face got smashed. She says that it's her favorite match, my greatest chance to get a semi-dilated snatch. So when her legs open smoothly and almost mechanically, I know it's the ass whooping fucking wasabi handed me. God damn, that's a motherfucking. Can you remember when you weren't such a dude, I thought you were actually funny when you were such a nothing but a. Everywhere I go, look at this damn. Now that's straight up.
I'm also sorry to all the black viewers and minority groups who had to put up with that video. I was being cruel, hateful, bigoted, and being very uncaring about people's feelings.
Invaluable pawn, so let the merge begin. Now that the spiders are gone, with the core in my hands, reality shall collapse, and my eternal reign will stretch beyond divine grasp. So fade away and return to nothing. Your strength is great, but you're no match for me, no. Creation. stage. So fade away and return to nothing. Your strength is great, but you're no match for me, no. I'll let you live on the entertaining God of all creation, God of your creation now. So fade away and return to nothing. Your strength is great, but you're no match for me, no. I'll let you live for the entertaining God of all creation, God of your creation now.
Okay. Light 'em up, boys. Rev those engines. Let's go! Who is the king? Who is the king?
Cruising around with nowhere to go, watching the world through a blurred window. Take all comers, but they too slow, breaking through all known barriers. So run your car, not your mouth, 'cause out here there's no room for cowards. Flash of life is all you see, just another day when you're drifting. You lost your crown, lost your place, picked back up, left in disgrace. Flash of life is all you see, just another day when you're drifting.
Who is the king? Who is the king?
Cruising around with nowhere to go, watching the physical world implode. Take all comers, but ain't no show. So what next but the sound barrier? So run your car, not your mouth, 'cause out here there's no room for cowards. Flash of life is all you see, just another day when you're drifting. You lost your crown, lost your place, picked back up, left in disgrace. Flash of life is all you see, just another day when you're drifting. So run your car and not your mouth. Out here there's no room for cowards. Lost your crown and lost your place, picked back up, left in disgrace. Run your car and not your mouth. Out here there's no room for cowards. Lost your crown and lost your place, picked back up, left in disgrace.
Oh boy. Hold on, am I actually coming through? Yes, I am. Yes, I am. I am not the dented one today. Thankfully. Oh, goodness, excuse me. Oh, boy. Hello, everybody. You'll have to forgive me, by the way. Hold on, first off.
Uh-oh. Guess what day it is? Guess what day it is? Huh? Anybody? Julie, hey, guess what day it is? Oh, come on, I know you can hear me. Mike. What day is it, Mike? Leslie, guess what today is?
It's hump day.
Woo-hoo!
Ronnie, how happy are folks who save hundreds of dollars switching to Geico? I'd say happier than a camel on Wednesday.
Hump day!
Get happy. Get 15 minutes could save you 15% or more.
You'll have to forgive me, chat. Because my fever broke last night at some point while I was asleep. Having terrifying nightmares that I can't recall, thankfully. But I'm still like with cough, so you'll have to give me some. You'll have to give me a little bit of a break here, because I'm still not like fast right now. But I'll tell you who is fast. The Yippee is fast. The Yippee is definitely fast. She's running around, and we do have an updated landlord Yippee. Oh, goodness. But yeah, happy hump day. Happy hump day. My name is MommaOcco, and I like to talk about drama. I also like to laugh at retards on the internet. Those things are not always interchangeable. Sometimes there are retards that don't get into drama, and sometimes there is drama that is not retarded. But at the end of the day, it is all worth looking at and laughing at in some way, shape, or form. The last couple of weeks have been especially busy for myself and quite a lot of drama news commentators for different reasons. And I say that because some drama news commentators are very selective with what they choose to talk about, either because of their own biases or because it's too rough for them to talk about. Well, it's not for me. If it comes out and it's in the public, I will address it to the best of my abilities. Unless I'm legally not allowed to. So, with that in mind, we've got two major things that are happening today. Or that we're going to talk about today. For some reason, both of them have to do a little bit with Mythic. Unless I am wrong, I am pretty sure Bao is employed by Mythic or is in Mythic, or I might just be wrong. I could be wrong. That's one detail that I thought I already looked into, and I could be very wrong about that. Ow, fuck. But we're going to be talking about Bao the Whale first. There's a minor update with the Shondo stuff. And I'm going to tell you right now.
MommaOcco and Hero
well, first, I'm part of the problem.
Internet Sin Master found out Mom is part of the problem and gave her $10.
Thank you.
Clown Mama is back. We must really have a big circus of a disaster today. Glad you're sounding a bit better than yesterday.
I definitely feel like I have quite the major improvement. Let me tell you. I stepped outside today. I guess today is National Donut Day. No, Chad, I did not go buy a donut. I crossed my fingers and promise I did not go buy a donut. Even though today is National Donut Day. And let me tell you why I didn't buy a donut. Krispy Kreme was not doing any deals for National Donut Day, all right? So why buy donuts from a company that's not even giving you savings for buying a donut? Okay? And no, I'm not going to tell you how I knew that. All right? The Yippies are donut enjoyers? They are. They are. But nothing beats the cool, delicious taste of ice cream. So a Yippie will always prefer ice cream over anything else. When I know Akko bought a donut, but I can't prove it. Yes. But yeah, so happy International Donut Day. But yeah, I went out because I needed a few things from the store. And hold on, let me silence my phone. Oop. There we go. I went out to the store because I needed beef because I would like to make something with beef tomorrow. And it felt really nice to step outside after 2 days of like being holed up in your apartment, like wrapped in a blanket, trying not to die, and being afraid of going to bed because you fear you're going to get more hurt by your own body's stupidity. Trust me, there have been times where I have slept and I think that I have hurt myself in confusion. So, oh fuck. So I'm glad that I woke up today and I was like, oh my gosh. Most of my pain is gone. Now, I do still have pain in my chest area, and that probably comes from all of the mighty convulsing I did these last couple of days. It's pretty normal, but I am mostly put back together. Mythic is getting sued. Yes, we'll get into that. We'll get into that. I feel like it would be unfair to talk about the Mizkif lawsuit when it's not the when that's not what the front of the stream is. So we'll get to that eventually. Aqua hurt itself in the confusion. Yes. But anyway, to continue on what I was saying here. Today we're talking about two situations in particular. Thank you.
The Professor Keem sent $5 for more hats. Are you in the area where this weekend and Monday a snowstorm / super low temps will hit? Are you ready for that bad weather?
No, I am not. I live in a very warm climate, and it just recently went from 85s to 60 to 70s in a matter of like days. It was like one day. It was like literally one day where it was 85 and the humidity was high, and then it immediately dropped to 60 to 70 with the same amount of humidity. And I don't think that necessarily is that big of a deal. I would like to hope that isn't that big of a deal, but, you know, I could be wrong. But yeah, I feel like maybe that contributed in some small portion towards it. But yeah, that happened. Mizkif is low-key creepy. Yes, we'll talk about him. I do think that he is just a little bit creepy, you know, just a little bit on the creepy meter, you know. But yeah, so the main topic of today is, of course, going to be everybody's favorite whale, or one of their favorite whales, Bao, and her journey into like dentedness, I guess. And just kind of like the we're going through mostly just the apology arc, because when I first covered this, you know, we really didn't have more than just the first initial stuff that happened. We had the fact that she had made those comments, and then we had her initially being like, oh, it's just pyro pups that are pissed off at me. But we really didn't have much else. Now, in my personal opinion, what kind of like set off the second arc, which is the apology arc for this week, I do think that part of it was due to the fact that Bao actually got called out by a Japanese company. And yes, you've heard that correctly. Bao was called out by a Japanese company for comments that she made. And you might know which company I am talking about. And I do believe in particular, that is the reason why she actually like stopped. Because I am of the belief that Bao would have continued her insanity crusade as long as nobody like called her out on her shit. So we're gonna talk about that, and we're gonna go through that. The end result, though, is still... now, I'm going to be honest with you. The end result really has just been her now blocking a bunch of people. Which I kind of expected, and kind of surprised that she didn't do that immediately anyway. Because I kind of expect... Because, like, here's the thing that, like, you guys need to understand. A good content creator who is in a good mental headspace and knows how to handle themselves and their controversy, a good content creator does not just respond to other people. They learn to ignore people and learn to just filter out the dumb shit. And I would say that maybe for a time you could say that Bao was part of that. I wouldn't know, because, again, the big problem that now I have, and I'm sure a lot of other people will have, is there's probably a good chunk of history where Bao has had actions, dumb actions, that they might not even have, because this is the first time where people like have peeled back the lens and said, you know, or peeled back the hood of the vehicle and said, you know, I really don't like how this thing is sounding. And so I don't know if this is like a brand new thing, if like her acting like this is something that is normal. I would hope that it's not normal that she acts like a psychopath, but you know, I guess it really just, it is what it is, and we're gonna have to like go forward and you know, hopefully she doesn't act like a bitch ever again. And don't get it twisted. I don't care if you like her or not. I'm going to be, again, the honest guy in the room here, because nobody knows how to be fucking honest with content creators these days, and it fucking annoys the shit out of me. All right? Bao was being a bit of a bitch. All right? Just a little bit of a bitch. And I will not coddle her, or really anybody, on behalf of anybody, because what she was doing was objectively a stupid thing to do. The fallout from some of her fans was also extremely stupid as well, and how she chose to treat people. And her apology, and I thought about putting in air quotes apology on my tweet. I guess I probably should have, because a lot of people don't think that she actually apologized, which I am in the middle of whether or not I think it's an actual apology. But essentially, a lot of people look at this as kind of a wash. You know, I really am kind of just sitting here thinking, you know, she's just kind of a crazy person, and a crazy person that for some reason has been gifted an audience. Mizu seems to think that she treats men as sex objects, and you know, based off of how I've seen her act towards men, I'm willing to agree. And this is probably the first time where her projected sex objects have come out and said, we don't like how you treat us. Is what it is. Is what it is. But anyway, we're going to be talking about that. Like I mentioned, Mizkif is also on the docket today. I think he is going to be another hour, maybe hour and a half to talk about as well. Because we have his initial filing complaint with the lawsuit. He has also attached a letter from Mythic Entertainment that was used in a process of letting him go from ownership. And we're going to get to some reactions from it as well, including my opinions. So that'll all be really interesting. That'll all be really, really interesting. Well, thank you for being a member for 2 months. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So those are really our two biggest things today. We have some tiny other stuff that I want to talk about as well. Some other stuff that I thought was really just tiny things. The Shoujo is mentioned in there just a little bit. There's a funny meme that Mizu retweeted I wanted to share. There is also an update on whether or not Kirsch has actually been let go from Mythic. Thank you for the 10. So we'll be going through all of that. Spoiler alert, Kirsch hasn't been let go of Mythic.
Something I doubt most of us expected to say before this week, huh? Red Instincts might have been right about Bao. She used to have a manager running her Twitter. For her own sake, she needs a new one.
I agree. I think a lot of big creators probably should do that. If I ever get big enough to the point, maybe I will just ask Rage to do that for me. You know, if I pay him enough. Excuse me. I will try to mute myself when I plan to cough. But if I don't plan to cough, you might accidentally hear it, and I apologize in advance.
Thank the user for the follow.
Anyway. Before I do talk about it, I did kind of just... No, I'll wait till later to talk about that, because I kind of want to build up to it. I was thinking about it. No, we'll build up to it. Okay. All right. So, first off, if you need a reminder of the first half of everything that has gone on, you can find it on my clips channel. My editor Winter has put together a really nice 30-minute video of my previous coverage of this segment, where the basic stuff was basically covered, cut out all the extra fluff. And if you're interested, that is a video that you should go watch. You can pause this and come back, basically. But to give you a recap of everything that went on, funny enough, involving the Mizkif situation. Excuse me. Mizkif gets outed. Then literally a day or two later, I can't remember which, Bao decides
for the follow.
That she is going to come out and say, you know, if men that are content creators are bigger than you and they shower you with love and kisses, don't walk, run. Basically stating that any big male creator that wants to give you praise and attention is somebody to be avoided. And it started an entire discourse around the idea of man-hating. It reignited a lot of individuals that were being openly misandrist, or men that were starting to be a little bit more sexist towards women. It really just kind of started a gender war, which is kind of what we decided to call it in my clip. It was really kind of crazy, in my personal opinion. And the thing is I don't think Bao was expecting that. I don't think she was expecting that. I think she was... now, part of me does believe... Now, in her apology, she does state that she's, like, been mentally unwell, or, like, in a bad mental space. I do believe that. All right? I do 100% believe that. But I don't think, and so while I do think that she was in a bad mental space, and I do think that that bad mental space, could have influenced where she decided to make these opinions. Because don't get it twisted, a lot of what Bao did over the past week or two, is number one, you could call it a woman moment. Probably one of the easiest things to just say, oh, woman moment. But you could also say it is the mad ramblings of somebody that probably was pushed on just a little bit this year, you know, just a little bit. Now, agree or disagree, the Cinder situation itself, even if I disagree with the characterization that it was her fault, or Cinder's fault, I do think that Bao feels like it was Cinder's fault, and she's been very put upon by it. And so that's definitely upped her stress levels. Bao has also, allegedly, according to her, gone through other shit this year. I mean, like, besides her surgery, which I'm sure wasn't a big, I'm sure it wasn't a small deal. Bao definitely struggled with that. I'm definitely sure of. And so, you know, she's had some stressful things happen to her this year. But that should not, and I will say that should not, and it does not excuse how she decided to act. Because she makes her first post, then she makes a little reiteration post saying, guys, I shouldn't have to clarify. And then she, a day late, like a day or two later, decides to start thirst posting again, and people are like, oh, so you're just trying to run away from this by thirst posting, trying to make money off of the men that you claim to hate. And then she also would make a now deleted post that we're gonna go through talking about Skeb. And this is kind of where things pick up for me, because I kind of stopped talking about this right when the Skeb stuff was the new stuff, basically. In fact, I don't even know if the Skeb stuff was brand new when I talked about this on Thursday, or on Wednesday, excuse me. So we're gonna start kind of like there. But the first thing I wanted to kind of cover is the fact that when all of this was going down, okay? When all of this was going down, Bao chose to respond to multiple different individuals. In fact, I'm pretty sure I have it in here somewhere. No, not that one, not that one, not that one. Not that one either. But there was a point where I might not even have it saved. Hold on. Let me look here, because I swear I have it. There it is. Never mind. Never mind. Never mind. Okay. So there was a point where, you know, Bao was getting a lot of hate, but she didn't respond to any of it. All right? In fact, she was really good at just ignoring a lot of people. I say after the initial run of individuals that were critical, she just kind of started ignoring everybody. Okay? But one of the accounts she did reply to that did end up getting suspended, by the way. Now, unfortunately, I don't have the stats of this guy's Twitter account, but I will just say, and you can trust me if you'd like, the account here was a no-follower alt account. It was a no-follower alt account that one random claimed was their own. And this one random, no-follower alt account replies to Bao saying, quote, "We should kill all women that hate men for literally no reason," unquote. And Bao thinks, all right, in Bao's head, in Bao's dented little mind, that out of all of the other people that are choosing to say something, the random, no profile picture, by the way. This guy doesn't even have a profile picture. All right, no profile picture, has a random ass name, you know, again, no follower account, all right? In all intents and purposes, this is a burner account. All right? and Bao decides that is the person you want to reply to. That is the individual that is worth saying, oh my gosh, I'm being attacked on the internet. And if you're old, all right? If you're old, like me, or at least old enough to remember a similar time this happened, a similar time when women make statement or women say silly thing, and then as a response, Whamma decides to pay attention to no-name loser accounts with no following, that it's extremely obvious that those accounts are made specifically to irritate them. It starts to make you wonder if some of it is manufactured. Now, I will not say at all that I think that Bao made that alt account. All right, I have no proof for it, and I think it would be dumb to claim that, because it's very easy to just say no, I didn't do that. Okay, but it is really interesting. All right, really interesting that Bao gets, in my opinion, a pretty stupid thing to say. All right, you shouldn't say this. All right, you're not going to convince or change anybody's minds by saying that you want to, quote, kill all women, unquote. That is not like a smart idea. All right, you're not going to win any hearts and minds. And you are literally just going to get Bao doing this. All right? All right? You're literally going to have Bao walking on the victim train for the next 10 to 15 years, bringing up fucking Gamergate or VTubergate like she's actually a victim. So don't do this. But by the same token, I don't believe that this alt account is just an alt account. I do believe it is an alt account. Hey, there's the fixed landlords.
The landlords have been gifted $20 by Internet Zen Master Hassan Disrespecter. Bao literally pulled an Anita Sarkeesian / Brianna Wu with that highlight the no-follow or rando as evidence crap. This is 2025, not 2014 FFS. No wonder a lot of the old GG commentators like Arch and V called her out.
No, yeah, I mean, like, Arch and V definitely are right to call her out because they've seen it before. They've seen it before, and they've been on the team of, like, what the fuck are you doing? Now, I know that Arch talked about this last week. I don't know what his opinions are, but I am pretty sure I can take a stab in the dark and say that he probably, like, likened it to some... he probably says that it feels familiar to him. Bauriana. Oh gosh. But yeah, so like I don't like this because what she ended up doing is like she tried to like shout out these no-name accounts that are doing this, and it's just like literally, do you know how I don't get them very often, but occasionally I will get fucking nobodies, and I know they're fucking nobodies because Twitter marks them as fucking spam.
Oh my god, she's got milkers!
Slime Maverick discovered mom has milkers and gave
Oh fuck, it doesn't do the right thing.
She really needs to bow out from the internet. I'm not sorry.
Damn, it showed the new thing, but it didn't show the right message. Can I get it to show the right message?
From MommaOcco.
Slime Maverick
No.
send $5
Fuck.
for more hats.
It didn't show it. Fuck. All right, I have a brand new thing. For some reason, it's not showing. I might need to lessen some of the stuff, but dang. Anyway, thank you for the 5. I appreciate it. I have a new sound clip, by the way. Gifted to me by the Anti-Fox. Anyway. I am pointing this out because it bothers me. Because it's just like, if you want to actually... have a conversation which I don't think that Bao wants to have a conversation. All right. My opinion is that Bao wants to say whatever the fuck she wants. And you just need to be okay with the fact that she doesn't like men, that she sees men as some kind of sex object. Because whenever she talks about men, if it's not her acting like this... Here, let me bring up another image here. If it's not her talking, if it's not her saying what she said about men in that tweet, it's this. Now, this was the... I'm sure that if I looked hard enough, I could find the original where it shows the other tweets. But this is something that Bao said a couple years ago. Oh, Mizu, thank you for the raid. Welcome. This is something that Bao said a couple years ago. Where Bao says, quote, men sexualize us all the time. They're just mad we learned to don't wall them for it. Lamau, what a beta cuck. Now, I really just... I look at how I just look at this and I get upset. I just look at this and I really feel like Bao looks at men as and I do 100% agree with Mizu, where she just kind of looks at men as some form of sex object, you know, with how she acts towards those voice actors that voice act those wolf characters. Where she literally begs them to impregnate her with wolf babies. But then, like, when you look at the finer details, she just sounds like a fucking bitch. Mizu asked us to come here and be racist. Okay, sounds good. Here, I need to turn off my hair. There we go. But yeah, I legitimately don't believe that Bao is... I do believe that of Bao. Like, I do believe that what she expects is the men will give her money because she herself wants to monetize her sex appeal or her character's sex appeal. And she thinks of you as a beta cuck, basically. But anyway. Moving on from that. Now, funny enough, Maxor, who it's debated if you want to call him a bigger content creator than Bao. If you want to say in terms of a Twitch streamer, I think she would be bigger than him. However, if you want to say in terms of a YouTube personality, he is bigger than her, based on views. So, Bao, run the fuck away from Maxor, because he might want to groom you. But Maxor woke up and asked what the fuck is going on. And Bao said, quote, if Harvey Weinstein invites you to a party, don't go, unquote, and it ruffled some feathers. And as you can expect, everybody said, yeah, fuck no. Fuck no, you are wrong. You are so fucking wrong. Like, there are so many people in here saying, Bao, you are fucking retarded and wrong. Like, his original thing got almost 500,000 views. This thing quadrupled his tweet. Her tweet quadrupled it and got a community note. All right. Is it still available? Yeah, it's still available. Where everybody's just like saying, no, that's not what you said. I love how a bunch of people are saying no note needed. A lot of these people are just simps, in my personal opinion. Oh, well, hold on. We'll get to that in a moment. But she basically lied and said, oh, I was talking about Harvey Weinstein. It's just like, no, you weren't. Again, this is what, like, it further tells me when she's saying Harvey Weinstein, I am thinking that she is, again, talking about Mizkif. Like, who else is this woman talking about? Who else is there for her to, like...
Obviously, Occo is a bad example because it's a lost cause.
The anti-fox who has deemed GP a lost cause and internet Zen master donated $5 to help her with her troubles. I would bet $5 that Bao reads that trashy Minotaur milking farms and stuff like it off stream. Also, God bless Nevan for calling her out immediately.
Yes. Thank you for hitting the new clip. Thank you for hitting the new clip. The anti-Foxu has blessed me with a new clip. I technically got that a week or two ago, but I decided to finally get off of my laziness and cut that today. Was that Klaus? Yes, that was Klaus. I have been blessed with a clip. I don't know if I've ever said this before, but I will say it now. In fact, I kind of said this to Huith the other day, because for some reason Huith came into my mentions after I just talked about them without mentioning them. And it's just like, okay, I don't care. But like Huith was like poking at me saying that they were going to talk about me, and I was like, please do so. I'll make a voice clip out of it. And I feel like that's fair game. In the realm of a fair use, if you talk about me or you mention my name, I have every right to like turn it into a voice clip for funny reasons. Just for funsies, you know. I consider that a realm of respect. In some ways, you know. So if you mention me and I feel like it would be an amazing clip, I'll put it up there. So but anyway, going back to this. So yeah, she basically came out and said, oh, I was talking about a Harvey Weinstein and people got mad at me. And it's just like, girl, are you really going to be lying? You really going to be lying about that? You really going to be lying about that? Yes, she's really going to be lying about that. She's really going to be lying about that. Anyway, that ended up not being the end. Now, the next couple of things I'm going to show you, unfortunately, are just pictures because all of her tweets are deleted. And let me triple check. I'm fairly certain I have all of these here. Yes, it typically takes a few days before they disappear. So the next couple things we're going to talk about here are all images. And the reason why they are all images is because she deleted all of them. She deleted all of them. And why she deleted all of them, we'll get there. We'll talk about that because there are some reasons. There are some reasons. But this took place on the 30th. So that was like fucking, that was on Sunday. So that was like a couple days after I had talked about it. No, wait. Sorry, I'm looking at the wrong month there. It was literally a day later. My apologies. Again, I am so sick that I'm not paying attention there. But anyway, so this happened a day after I talked about her. Where she says, artists, crying face emoji. Please ask permission before publicly posting finished commissions, crying face emoji. I know you're really excited about finishing a really cool commission, but you might accidentally spoil a client's project, crying face emoji. So many commissions I just gave up doing anything because it was posted before I could do anything with them. Crying face emoji, crying face emoji, crying face emoji. And then this was posted right below. Now, this wasn't an opposite tweet. This wasn't in its own realm. This was posted right below this as a reply to this. As a reply to artists don't post comms without my permission. She says, I hate you, Skeb. All right. I want to make sure that we get that understood here. All right. All right. You must understand, and you'll understand why I say this later, but you must understand this was posted right underneath that tweet, making no indistinguishability. That's not a word. Making it non-indistinguishable for what she's talking about. All right. Make no mistake. She's talking about Skeb. All right. She is talking about Skeb. 110%. That's what she's talking about here. Okay. Now, compared to this right here, all right, this was a bad post, all right, but it wasn't actually talking about anybody, so nobody could come out and defend themselves without people putting their eyes on them. Basically, this is actually about a platform. Okay. Now, a lot of people decided to respond to her. Okay. A lot of people, including Skeb artists, including artists that know the platform and how it works, including other people that have used the platform. I myself have never used Skeb, but I have become very acquainted with the rules, and we will discuss them today because it was posted. We'll get there. But she started responding to a lot of people where people were rightfully pointing out that she doesn't understand the rules of the website. Jade Does Desu, who is a manager for people, and they're also just kind of a cool person that I follow. They also posted rules, the rules of Skeb. All right, like they took some screenshots of the rules from Skeb, and then also posted it along with her stuff, showing that Bao was not reading the website. Thank you for the 5.
Search Impus Bananaton gifted $4.99 to a UP. Am going from disappointment to do I actually even like this person with Bao? She has to have some bad influences cause this not the Bao I watch.
Yeah. I'll get to my point, because I do want to make sure that I touch on the idea of, and I probably will do this after I talk about Mizkif. But I want to talk about setting expectations for content creators in general. But we'll get there. But anyway, so Jade would post some screenshots of Skeb's stuff here. Some carve-outs from their rules that are very easy to understand. This one says, the right of the works belongs to the creators except as separately specified in the rules, regulations, and policies. So anything that you order on Skeb still belongs to the artists. One reason why I would probably not use Skeb, honestly. Oh, excuse me. Creators have right to freely post and release their works on social networks, fanzines, and Patreon service without permission from clients. Clients cannot restrict this right. So right there, creators, meaning the individuals who make the artwork for you, have the express right given by the website that you agree to when you use them as a web service, that they can use your artwork on different fan sites like Patreon, and you have no say. And they also get to post it whenever the fuck they want, and you get no say. It is also important to note that Skeb is a website where, unlike a lot of different commission websites where you have back and forth communication with the artist, you get one take to send your stuff to the artist. Okay? You get one take. And once you send that one take, you just have to hope that you were accurate enough for them to draw what you wanted. It's another reason why I haven't used Skeb, because I'm going to be honest with you, I'm very anal, and I like to make sure that all the details are good from start to finish. But it's important to understand and learn this, because Bao is acting like she doesn't know this, okay? Bao is acting like she has no idea that Skeb as a platform does this. Again, I hate you, Skeb. And there is proof. I know it's in here somewhere, but there is proof of her using Skeb as far back as 2020. So this woman has been using this platform for 5 years, didn't know, or didn't read, or didn't pay attention that the platform itself allows her work, the work that she commissions, to be posted on the artist's time, and then she's getting upset because she didn't read the rules. That's literally, oh, I didn't read the TOS, and I'm upset that they did something that I didn't want. Now, I would say that the minor differences, sometimes TOSs are arbitrarily long because they want you to skip through it. With Skeb, I feel like it's short enough that you should be able to understand it and go through it. Still the exact same principle in my personal behavior. But like, you can't complain like this because you didn't pay attention and you didn't read, or you don't read. And it starts to, in my opinion, it starts to make you wonder, you know, because Bao is on many different records as being quite literally a retarded content creator. All right. I'm not going to sugarcoat it anymore. I'm not going to be nice. I don't really like any of these people. All right. I don't like their realness. Their real personality is very raw and gross to me. All right. I've peeled back the layers of onion and I don't like them.
MommaOcco and Hirohe are part of the problem.
Thank you for the
Our
for the
Tomboys
10.
found out Mom is part of the problem and gave her $9.99. By itself, Bao's first tweet is not a problem. How many VTubers' outfits could be spoiled cause artists' rights, which inherently there should be some professional standards in normal circumstances.
No, I agree. I agree. And I would say here's the thing.
Obviously, Occo is a good example because it's a lost cause.
The anti-fox who has deemed Yippee a lost cause and Rockroll just donated
I love how it
$5
got the
to help
rainbow
her with her
Yippee.
troubles. A famous woman dodging accountability like Goku dodges punches. I am shocked. Shocked. Well, not that shocked.
No, yeah. And Artemis, I do agree. If she had just stuck with the first tweet and not actually called out somebody, again, there would be no issues. A lot of people will agree with you that an artist should only post something when the creator and the artist mutually agree on it. And part of that mutual agreement is going through the artist's terms and making sure that you both understand and agree with what you're getting into. And again, Skeb has its own terms that you have to agree to. And the terms are that the artist gets to do whatever the fuck they want with the art that you commission them to buy. Or to make, excuse me. So I agree 100% that artists need to work with the creators. However, when you're working with a platform that already has its own shit, you can't complain when you can't go against the system that's already been created from another country, by the way. And you can't get upset when nobody agrees with you because that's how the system works on that platform. In that case, don't use the platform. Anyway. This starts to go back to a problem that, like, I have with Bao. Going back to before the supers here. This is not the first time, and I am telling you right now, mark my fucking words. This will not be the last time Bao gets into something retarded like this. It may not be as big as this, all right? May not be as big, may not be as crazy. This is like the 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th time that she's been scammed by artists, managers, and friends. And at this point, you kind of have a crossroads. Everybody says that Bao is just a retard. Well, I don't call her a retard. I'm calling her a retard at this point, all right? Everybody just says that she is a retard. There comes a point where if somebody is that stupid, they should not have this much access to the internet without help. Okay? I think that if she is this dumb, she probably needs to get some assistance. Thank you for feeding the landlords.
The landlords have been gifted €10 by Kangrata Hassan Disrespecter. The more I see and hear of Bao, the more I have the feeling that when she fails from her own stupidity at something, she will blame someone else rather than herself.
Probably. But my opinion is Bao has, like, shown consistently that she does not know what she's doing. All she seems to know how to do is hit play on OBS, and I don't even know if she knows how to do that right. All right. I don't even know if she knows how to do that fucking right. But she has consistently had so many problems in her life. Some of them sound like they are not self-inflicted. Some of them sound like they are a result of shit happening. That she needs help. Professional help. Like, I don't know if it's a manager or an actual partner that will fuck her and get her to calm down. But she needs to, like, get help. Because it's extremely obvious that she walks into danger, or either walks into or intentionally walks into, God only knows, danger. And it does not look good. And, oh, excuse me. I do not volunteer. Who would volunteer for that duty? Oh, excuse me. Who would volunteer for that duty, chat? Would you do that? Anyway. As a result of this, some people noticed that she deleted those tweets. Well, this is why. This is why. So, on the 3rd, about 3 to 4 days after she made those claims and then said F you to Skeb, Skeb decided to come out and say something. Skeb decided to come out and clap back against to Bao. Now, they don't name her by name, but it's pretty damn obvious who they're talking about or why they made this post. So we're going to go through and read this. We're going to go through and read this, and I'll point out kind of just like how funny some of this is. Called out by a Japanese company in English? Yes. Skeb was a truth news? Yes. I believe that if Skeb didn't do this, she would not have actually, like, stopped. I think this was like a slap in the face wake-up call to her. So, and by the way, they didn't make one tweet, they made 3 tweets with multiple images. Warning. All rights to works on Skeb belong to creators. Clients cannot restrict creators from publishing their works for any reason. This notice is shown at 4 times before sending their first request, and they cannot proceed unless they check the box agreeing to it. So they again point out that the copyright of the work belongs to the creator. It's prohibited to specify or restrict the publication place of the copyrighted work. Or excuse me, of the work. Please do not restrict creators' activities in a way that exceeds the rules stipulated by this service. And again, they're like showing each and every time where they point out that you cannot restrict how the artist works. Show it again here. And then they show it again right here. Creators can freely publish on social networks and fanzines without permission from clients. So again, they say and they show 4 times. They say that humans need 3 times in order to get something. 4 fucking times they showed that Bao's fucking retarded. 4 times that you have to go through before you order something. Is she just clicking that through? Is she just like running through that, just saying yep? She's just not reading anything. Not reading anything. In the past 4 years that she's used Skeb, didn't read it once. Not once. She's like, I'm gonna fucking buy that art. I want that art. Fuck yeah, I'm gonna get it. Doesn't care to read, I guess. They continue. Scab is fundamentally different from Western art commission platforms. Is a creator support platform rooted in Japan's Sukebu culture, where artists draw illustrations on the spot at Doshinshi convention. Scab is not a stock material marketplace. I'm sorry if I mentioned that wrong, or I said that wrong. Over 30% of users are now from overseas. We sincerely thank everyone abroad who understands our terms and policies carefully and supports creators. Important, only we may issue warnings or impose penalties for violations of our terms and policies. When misinformation spreads, we will contact parties involved directly. Vigilante actions or attacks are strictly prohibited. Thank you for understanding. So this is basically them saying they contacted Bao and told her to fuck off, basically. Let me see if I actually have it. I put this together yesterday. Let me see. I believe I did. Might not, actually. No, I don't think I did. Fuck, I don't have it, but she basically came out and said that she removed those tweets because of the terms of service violation. But anyway, moving on. People would all... I don't remember seeing it, but apparently she had claimed that she was a new user to Scab. I don't know how true that is. I don't remember seeing that. Now, I did do a lot of digging into some of the stuff that people got, and I didn't see it. But people are alleging that she said that she was a new user to Scab, and that's not true. Because... Is it here? Yeah. Her first Scab was, again, 5 years ago. 4 or 5 years ago. Actually, no, it is directly 5 years ago. Almost to the date. That's funny. So she's been using this platform for 5 years, and she didn't read the TOS once. Or doesn't understand once the thing with Scab. Cool.
Oh my god, she's got milkers!
Search Impus Banana and discovered Mom has milkers and gave $5. Bao has a whole team including a manager, and I'm going on a limb and say she got someone to praise God with.
Yeah. Pretty much. Pretty much. Anyway. Hero Hayes video has the tweets? Okay. Then I would say watch Hero Hayes video for that specific tweet. I do apologize if I don't have everything. I was sick the last couple days, and I was trying to gather this yesterday and today with my limited capacity. If you couldn't tell, by the way, I am at a more limited capacity. I've been like fucking up way more than I would like. So I apologize. I hope you can forgive me. Anyway, we'll move on. She would respond basically about this on the 3rd as well. We're going to go through this and break it down. I was very pissed off when I read this, by the way, as well as some of the other things that she decided to say. This was also on the 3rd, a little bit later. Bao would say, my original tweet was not about Scab. It was my general experience with commissioned art. Thank you, Sparky, for that. I don't know, Bao. I think you're lying there. My opinion of Scab was an afterthought. I haven't used Scab for almost a year. Don't care. Don't care. My tweet went way out of my circle. And this is kind of where I got really pissed off, because like this line right here, you know, this is what retards say, okay? When they're like, guys, I know I had a shitty opinion. I know what I said sucked, all right? I know that I had hot take, all right? It was a hot take, don't you know? But it was only intended for my circle, all right? Only my close personal friends were supposed to see what I was saying, okay? Excuse me. I call bullshit, all right? I really call bullshit. Here's the and I know that Armchair talked about this. You, as an individual on the internet that has, what does she have? She has over 500, I think. 600,000 followers. She has over 600,000 followers. When you are at that size, you should expect that anything you say could and will be seen by everyone. Everybody will see what you have to say and what you talk about. So you cannot get upset when it quote unquote goes outside of your circle. If you want it to stay in a community or in a specific area, that's what Discord is for. That's what your tiny little, that's what a YouTube community post is for. Because it stays in that little community. Because it's segregated.
Oh my god, she's got milkers!
Sparky's Tech Corner discovered Mom has milkers and gave $5. To be fair, Val had to find other avenues after Nano dropped them on their own. Skull emoji.
Yeah. So, I think that's cap. I think it's bullshit when somebody says that. It's like, oh, it went outside of my circle. I don't care if it went outside of your circle. You should expect if you say something on the internet, someone is going to hear it and it could get taken everywhere. Okay? Everybody can see it. You just have to be ready to deal with the fact that somebody could see it. That's why you think before you post. Or you are okay hitting the undo button if you read what you post and you're like, that's a bad idea. I can't tell you how many times I have hit undo on a post or just not posted something because it was a bad idea. Sorry. Anyway, let's continue. Led a lot of people to think of what I was saying to be 100% about Scab. Yeah, I think understandably so. Everybody could think it's about Scab. Again, if you posted this a day or two later, you're still going to have people that think that you're talking about this, but you coupled it to the same fucking tweet, you moron! It's literally a caboose on top of this engine right now. How could I not think it's part of the same engine? I think that she is just a lying whore. She is a lying fucking whore that whores herself out for whore money, and she hopes that you're not paying attention. I just think that she is a lying whore, all right? That's what she is. She's lying about it, and she's a whore, okay? Simple as. It wasn't. It was. The reason why I said I dislike Skeb was due to the option of keeping the commission private on an artist Skeb's profile. Sometimes it happens, sometimes it doesn't. I just don't want my not safe for work commissions connected to my Skeb profile. If it's posted on their Twitter with no connection to me, that's fine. Whip streams, all of it is fine. As for general commissions, aka what my tweet was originally about, commissions not via any website. If you took the time to see my replies, it was 100% in support of artists, and I by the way, it was in support of artists after she started getting called out, after people got pissed off.
Internet Sin Master tipped Octopus Mommy MILF $10. TBH Val might have avoided this if she just made all these stupid posts on a secret alt account and not your official vtuber account. PL accounts exist FFS.
Yeah. Yeah. Pretty much. Pretty much. Also, people have sent me the tweet, and I noticed it was right below this one, so it's okay. I understand why this confused artists, but even if my replies, I did not spread misinformation about Skeb. I don't think it matters. enough of this. Enough. Again, this to this. This to this. Do you not think, woman? Are you not a critical thinker? No, you are not. You are not. Get a fucking handler. All right? Get a fucking handler because you are not a critical thinker. I am aware of how the site works, albeit though through a lot of trial and error, but that is a common experience. I'm allowed to say it isn't my preference. That is fine. You are allowed to say it isn't your preference. And she did get community noted on this. First one is honestly my favorite one here. Bao did in fact make posts talking about how much she hates Scab in general. Also criticized the artists of that platform, leading to harassment of them. She implied they are maliciously ignoring her wishes. She does not understand how artist freedom works. Let me see if these posts are still up. Oh, yep, look at that. I hate Scab with a burning passion. I just don't think I have it in me to trust another similar platform. That's pretty bad. Yeah, again, just showing how it is again coupled. Oh, and then she replies to this other person. These tweets are still up, by the way. Whoa, Bao, why do you fucking lie? And again, just showing off this original post. So yeah, Bao lied. She's just a liar. Continuing on here, she says, very sorry for the stir it caused. What is not my cup of tea can still be yours, but I should be more aware of my influence, and that is no excuse. Yeah, you fucking think. No matter my issues, art is meant to be human. I would rather deal with a few hiccups than resort to AI. Also, I was emailed a violation of TOS, so took my tweet down. There wasn't any clarification in the email, but since I haven't used Scab in almost a year, I assumed it was because of it. Yeah, that's probably what it was about. Probably what it was about, Bao. Now, a bunch of people basically replied saying, how fucking stupid are you? You have to click 4 buttons saying that you understand, and she was basically like whining and deflecting and all that kind of stuff. I think one thing that I did want to point out, and I do want to do a stream on these people one day. One day. One day. I think one day I just want to like selectively pick out the non-Gooner posts of these virus accounts. Okay? Because these virus accounts are very weird and incestuous in how they act. I've been informed that like there's a good and a bad side. One's supposed to be a gooner and one's supposed to be safe for work. But these accounts, especially this Shy Lily one. This Shy Lily one is definitely like laughing at material. Number one, they block people like the plague, and it, you know what? They complain like they're Oshi, so it's completely fine with me. But she also likes to run damage control for all of the Oshis that she has. I like how they're like, you caught the attention of many people who dislike reading and are quick to insult you. This person is a retard. They don't know how to read, all right? They don't know. This person does not know how to read. They are a retard. That's all I'm going to say, all right? And one day, I'm going to pull up a bunch of these people's posts and laugh about them because they deserve to be laughed at just a little bit. And again, Bao would also just like when people, you know, say, oh, you're just having a moment of frustration, Bao would again, it was never that deep. It was never that deep. Ah, you know, slandering an entire website, it's never really that deep. Okay. Okay. How funny. How funny. But, chat, we move on to the grand finale of Bao. Okay. The apology, if you want to call it that. Okay. The apology. Now, chat, I am going to put up a poll. I have to close the first poll. Let me close the first poll. We're going to start a poll, chat. Is this a good apology? Yes. No. You might notice it's an edited apology. Oh. So, we're going to read the first version first. We're going to read the first version first. And then we'll read the revised post. I don't know if it actually like tells you what time it was. So this was at 2:27 and this was the revision. Okay, so she literally edited it like right afterwards. So this is the first version, okay? Quote, I haven't been acting like myself at all. I feel this year poisoned me deeply, and I'm not able to focus on anything but the negatives. It's all I can think about, and it's not fair to air it out in space that's trying to heal.
$5 for more hats. Resort to using AI. I guarantee you Bao would use AI art if she could get away with it. That last bit was to get the anti-AI art crowd off her back.
Oh, 100% it was. 100% was. Continuing on, she says, I'm impulsive and I don't think things through. Yeah, we fucking know that. That's why you need somebody to post on your behalf, because you can't do it yourself without getting in trouble. I wear my emotions on my sleeve, and that's a terrible combination. It's irresponsible and really dangerous. At worst, I'm dumb as fuck, not malicious. I'll leave the malicious part up to your personal interpretation. Let's see the newest part. In the newest part, she adds at the very end, I'm very sorry. So she had to go from all of this to then adding at the end, I'm very sorry. Okay. 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 Now, I'll wait for this to go through.
God, she's got milkers!
Tomahawk PWBT discovered mom has milkers and gave $5. Hilarious that we get two opposite prime examples of what a good apology and a bad apology in short order between Shondo and Bao.
Like I said, I will mention the Shondo one. I'm a little, I will mention it, but like Shondo's like in the hospital right now, so I want to treat that with care. But I did want to talk about that. Oh, excuse me. But yeah, this is not an apology, in my personal opinion. It's going to be taken as one, and all of her... Now, when I said this on Twitter. Let me pull up what I said.
Thank
I feel
you,
like this is
user,
worth
for the
pointing
follow.
out. What I said on Twitter was she apologized to Skeb. Debatable. She apologized to her fans. In my personal opinion, this is not an apology to you. This is an apology to her fans.
Internet Sin Master discovered mom has milkers and gave $5. I'm dumb AF, not malicious. Okay, raise your hand if you think that sounds like something a malicious person would say to deflect blame.
Yeah, pretty much. Like, don't get it twisted. What she essentially did was throw out a bone that her fans can now use. I have not seen it, but I know it will already happen. Where when a creator is toxic, but they are liked, their audience will excuse anything that they do if they feel there is a sufficient apology that goes along with it. This literally happens with everybody, including people like Mizkif. Legitimately. 110% this happens all the time. Where you're going to have shitty people that will get away with it because their core audience, the people that they actually want to make money off of, think that they're being sincere. And I do believe, based off of what we're seeing, that Bao is apologizing to her audience, not to the people that probably need to hear it, which is you, the people that are upset. Because don't get it twisted, all right? Let's not be twisted at all. Her fans don't give a shit, all right? Her fans are just gonna like be uber mega simps, coming out and saying, "Oh my queen, you can never do nothing wrong. All right, you're my queen. I'll take you with me everywhere. All right, you're the most beautiful thing ever." All right. Her apology is for those people, okay? Because when it comes down to it, I don't think she does care. I think in the grand scheme of things, she's just upset that this has continued on, and she's doing whatever she can to be let go from everything that has gone on. I do believe that this is, again, not a one-time occurrence. I do believe that this is something that will, again, happen. Probably not in the same fashion, you know. If I had to guess, maybe she will wrangle herself, or somebody will wrangle her to the point where they are like, "Listen, you gotta chill the fuck out, woman. All right? You want to keep making millions of dollars or however much money you make every single year? You gotta fucking chill out, man. You gotta fucking chill out." But this apology wasn't for the people that I feel like actually would care to hear it, you know. And there is technically a third group of people that won't care no matter what, and I don't care about those people. Those people are retarded and just want to see the world burn. And to a minor extent, I kind of want to see the world burn sometimes as well, but I'm not like, I don't want to be like those people. I think that there's a clear difference. But either way, this apology wasn't for you. It was specifically for her fans. Cool. Now, a fan gave me this here, and I thought this was nice to go through here. They broke it down for me. I swear this isn't my usual self, Bao's usual self, going through this again, which we've already read. Yellow, or orange part, I'm the real victim. Yellow part, oh, hold on. We'll wait for this to go through. By the way, do you guys love the new landlords?
Have been gifted $20 by Internet Zen Master Hassan Disrespecter. The thing is with Bao Simps, they're on the losing side of the issue, and people who actually need the apology are going to shove the Simps' noses in the fact Bao's lying to them at every opportunity now.
No, I agree. I might be in that third group. Oh, I'm sorry. I just like, listen, if somebody's sincere, then you should probably just move on, you know, because otherwise you're going to look like an asshole. That's it. So, like, if you don't, just, you gotta, like, there is a point where you probably should just move on, you know? Hold on. What's going on with my phone? You want to know how many buses I have? What the fuck? But yeah, like, there is just a point with some people where it's just like, you know what? Probably should just move on. Probably just need to move on. And you can like them, dislike them, but you probably just need to let them fucking move on, you know? This will make what happened to the Power Pups look tame by comparison. No, I agree. I agree. 100%. But yeah, you gotta be careful to not just, be the guy that is an utter asshole all the time is I guess what I'm trying to say. Anyway. It's kind of brutal here. Yellow portion. All I can think about is how men are only interested in sex, and it's a bad idea to tell my 99% male audience. Green. I have the emotional maturity of a 6-year-old, but that makes me look bad, so I'll say this instead. Light blue. I'm just a silly girl. Ooh woo. Please don't call me a bad person. Dark blue, oops, forgot to actually apologize, teehee. Because yes, she had to add it in. So yeah, that was her apology. That was her apology. Now everybody is rightfully pointing out that like it was an edit. And yeah, it was an edit. So don't be a Mizu. No, I don't think Mizu is like that. I don't think Mizu is like... I think there's a difference. I think there's a little bit of a difference. If that makes sense. Did I do a Nyara Yippee? No. No, I did not. Anyway. Anyway. So, what's the fallout, Ben? What is the fallout? Well, Bao is blocking everybody. Except for me, I guess. I actually checked. Here, where is it? Not that one. Here. Bao has not blocked me. Probably because I've only, like, added her once or twice. Okay? But Bao is blocking everybody that has been critical of her and adding her recently. Which is... I will say this, okay? I don't believe that adding somebody a couple of times is harassment, all right? Because you are allowed to engage with somebody in the public square, and they are able to see and not see your stuff if they want to. There is a point where I think if you overly do it, you might be considered as harassing somebody. I don't really know how many times that would be. But some people have been blocked. I know a lot of the people around me that have added her have been blocked. I think Mizu has been blocked. Sparky, Kendra, I believe. Yeah, just a lot of people. For some reason, I haven't. I've only added her like once or twice. Which is funny.
Obviously, Occo is a bad example because it's a lost cause.
Thank you.
The anti-fox who has deemed GP a lost cause and Internet Zen Master donated $5 to help her with her troubles.
Aw.
Bao is turning into the Steve Shives of tubing with this Bao blocklist nonsense.
Yeah. Isn't it better to mute? I was going to get to that, but yes. Now, my personal opinion is, when you've got somebody that you don't want to interact with, and as somebody, even as my size, you might believe it or not, I do have some people that I'm just like, you know what? I really don't care to interact with you. You know? I don't hate you. I don't think you're a horrible person. I just don't want to hear what you have to say. You know? Every content creator is going to have a couple people like that. Oh, excuse me. And so you kind of have a couple options. My option has always really just been, unless somebody is being outwardly malicious, that they're trying to defame you or say things that will harm your character, I will typically just mute somebody. And that does its job, because when you mute somebody, they don't even know it happened. They don't get notified. They don't know. So they'll be screaming into the void forever, and I don't get to see it. Unless, of course, it's somebody that I haven't muted that replies to them and is fighting them, and I'm like, I don't care. I don't need to engage with that. But you know, for the most part, I would say that a mute will be better than a block in a lot of different situations. But, you know, Bao's allowed to do whatever she wants, and in response, it looks like every individual that was critical of Bao has been blocked. Now, I say specifically critical. No, before I move on, banned VTuber memes made this, and I thought this was kind of funny. I made that part of the thumbnail. It's beautiful. It's brilliant. I say detractors or people against her, because if you are a glazer, if you decided that you were going to suck her tail, or you were going to say how much you like her, well, I got good news for you. She'll follow you All it takes to get a Bao follow is to simp for her. If you simped for her, if you agreed with her, all right? If you think that her take about men is correct, then she'll follow you. Then you're worthy of the glorious follow from Bao. Now, it's not just Trua that decided to show this off. And I do find it funny that some of these people are reporting, basically, that Bao is following all of the people that ass-kissed her. Not like that didn't get her in trouble previously when they showed that she liked tweets. But other people started saying that she followed them. Like Apollos. And and Huth. And Huth. Oh. Now, I don't know that much about Huth. People have told me things behind the scenes, and I'd have to actually see what they say before I talk about them. But people have alleged a lot of shit that I don't know, so I won't speak. I won't speak of.
VTuber with a jester / octopus mommy MILF avatar.
Internet Sin Master tipped Octopus Mommy MILF $10.
Oh, I'll get to that.
Jim could dedicate an entire episode of Hugbox Chronicles with how much of a hugbox she's creating. Ironically, her glazers are going to get just as much flack as Hassan Orbiters get now.
Yes. But Huith got a follow. And after Huith got this follow, they decided that they were going to clean themselves up. Okay. So, well, actually, I don't think it was just recently, but they've decided in the recent year that they were going to clean themselves up. And it's probably because they're getting more attention. Including switching their Discord server to 18+. Allegedly, I guess one of their managers was 16 and lied to them, which if their manager was actually 16 and they didn't know it, man, that fucking sucks. That's a sticky situation that I don't really have anything about. But here's what I will say, all right? I don't care if you knew or didn't know. You probably shouldn't say this out in public. All right? You probably shouldn't say that. Period. Because it doesn't matter if you knew, if you didn't know. All right? The internet is going to look at you and say bad things about you. Okay? So, automatically, just off the get, this is my first introduction to Huith. Because, like, I had seen their name pop up, but I didn't know who they were. This is my first introduction to them. Where, allegedly, their former manager was a teenager. A 16-year-old. And they didn't know. I'll take them at their word that they didn't know. I'll assume in good faith. All right? I'm being told I shouldn't assume in good faith because Huith is somebody that would not give the same to me. But, you know what? I'll assume in good faith. Okay? But this is not something you should say on the internet. And Bao followed that. And Chad, I need you to glow, alright? I need you to glow, alright? You can't make allegations like that unless you've got 100% proof. You can't do that. But, you know, Bao's just going to follow everybody that licks her ass, I guess. And that includes, I guess, people like Huith. Cool. All right. All right. Go ahead, woman. You know, so that's really the Bao saga from beginning to end. Bao was being a misandrist. She doubled, tripled, quadrupled down. Then she became a hater to Skeb. Tried to double, triple, quadruple down that she didn't hate Skeb when... Come on, let's be honest here. Bao, like, the other problem I have is Bao just cannot be honest to save her fucking life. When it's like... When are people going to learn, okay? When are people going to learn that the internet is so autistic? Right? Sometimes I am left in awe how autistic the internet is. When are people going to learn that anything you say will be remembered forever? Okay? I don't care if you think you've scrubbed it, or you've brought it down, or you've done a good enough job. As far as I'm concerned, there's only one man in the entire universe that has been able to tear down a website to where there is only memories that exist in people's heads. There's only one man that's been able to do that. Okay? And that is the Medicare forums. That's the only place that doesn't exist anymore, that there is next to no traces of. You are not that cool. You are not, like, that insane. All right? You are all regular-ass women on the internet that don't know OPSEC to save their lives. All right? You're all fucking retards. You barely know how to keep your name not attached to your Facebook or from your Facebook profile to your VTuber persona that can easily be looked at through an AI deep search. So, the fact that these people, and Bao is not the only culprit of this, but the fact that these people lie consistently, it is sad. But what's even more sad, and this kind of leads into something that I want to save for later, but this leads into a topic that I want to impress upon people about how idolized the content creator world is, and kind of how sad that makes me feel. Less so as a Christian and more so just as a person in general. We put content creators on a pedestal. It's very similar to the pedestals that people, that our parents or the generation above us put Hollywood actors on, where we thought that they were these amazing people that were gods, basically. I'd say the biggest difference is these are people that are able to do more by themselves, and they're not owned by specific companies. But the effect is very similar. A lot of these VTubers are normal-ass people. That includes me, by the way. Okay? A lot of these people are not magical or special. You know, they may have a hot model, or they may be showing their b-hole pics. But at the end of the day, all of these people are normal-ass individuals. And I think people forget that. I think people forget that at the end of the day, once Bao gets off the screen, she's going to be her same, in my opinion, miserable womanly self. Where it sounds like some of her greatest joy comes from, you know, being an objectifier of men. And I'm not going to say that's right or wrong because, you know, I am a single man. So, you know, I am going to enjoy a woman in my free time. I'm not going to say that's right or wrong. But what I am going to say is just like, there needs to be a realization that that content creators are not superheroes. Okay? And I wish that people got that. because it feels way too much that people are putting these content creators on pedestals, and they should not be, because they are not worthy of being put on a pedestal. Again, I'll even consider myself in that. You should not put me on a pedestal. You should be entertained by me. You know, if I entertain you, great, fantastic. I'm happy that I can entertain you. But you should not put me or any of these content creators on some sort of grandiose scale. You should remember that they are humans, and that as humans, they are just as infallible and able to do sin as you and me. Why do we watch them? Because we want to be entertained. We want to be entertained. And you know what? That's perfectly fine. You know? I like entertainment. I like, you know, after coming home from my long, grueling work day, to be entertained by somebody. That's why, even though I don't watch streamers, I will occasionally watch Mori Calliope, because she is the one person that I actually consider, she is the one VTuber that I actually find interesting. The only VTuber. The only VTuber that I really like.
Search Impus Banana
outside of my
send
friends,
$5
though.
for more hats. Nah, bro, the real question I need answered is how TF you thought someone who has not experienced that much in life was good enough to be your manager.
Yeah, that's a question I don't know if I could answer right now. I know what you're talking about. I don't know. Again, I need to talk to people about that situation before I broadly talk about it, but I know I don't know. I don't have an answer for that one. I don't have an answer for that one. I want to know how good the manager was, because I don't think a teenager's good at being a manager. Anyway, the point I want to make is people treat VTubers like a god. And this message goes out to everybody, you know, no matter what kind of fan you are. The thing that I implore people to remember is that all of these people are normal human beings. And yes, it's really nice to get an ego boost sometimes, whether you throw a donation or you say a nice message saying, oh, we love you so much, or oh, we appreciate you. You know, it's nice to get that. But I think people need to remember that all of these other individuals are also human beings. And human beings are inherently creatures that need to constantly be reminded just how human we are. They don't give a damn about you? No, they don't give a damn about you. And it's also worth adding on to that. And once I finish this point, we'll move on to Mizkif. Actually, move on to some side news and then jump into Mizkif. But like, it's worth remembering, because I think another thing that people get twisted, and this is something that I sometimes need reminding of, but I think something that people need to remember is the internet is not real life. Okay? I know that like a lot of the internet has taken functions from real life, and we can only do real life on the internet, but the internet is not real life. Okay? And what I mean by that is a lot of you are not in the same state or in the same country or even on the same side of the world as I am. Actually, maybe you are on the same side of the world as me, but that's besides the point. Once I turn off the computer in a couple of hours, thank you for becoming a member. Once I turn off the computer, I forget Bao exists. Okay? I stop thinking about her. Because quite frankly, I really don't give a shit about her. Okay? I find her to be a source of amusement kind of like a weekly TV show. That's what I see Bao as. I see Bao as a weekly TV show to watch for 20, 30 minutes, or maybe a few hours, depending on if I can binge. But the moment that the show goes off, it's just like, all right, let's do something else. You know? But you should always remember that none of this is real life. Your real life is the stuff that you do outside of the screen. And you need to remember that a lot of the people and the experiences, unfortunately, just stay on the internet. And that sucks, because I myself agree that there are a lot of good experiences that I've had. But a lot of it just doesn't matter in the grand scheme of things, you know? In the grand scheme of things, does what Bao do, will that change anything? No. No, absolutely not. It will, on individual levels, change how people think of her. I'm sure that she's lost some followers over this. I'm sure that she might lose monetarily from this, and I'm sure some people will be disenfranchised, but in the grand scheme of things, really doesn't matter. You know, in the grand scheme of things, talking about Mizkif, will the Mizkif stuff change anything IRL? Now that he's suing somebody, probably. That's a bad example, now that I think about it. But, like, do any of the actions of these content creators, do any of them merit anything real IRL? A lot of the time, no. A lot of the time, the answer is none of these people actually do anything that will impact or change the world to a significant degree. And so it's not real life. It's just entertainment. And I think a lot of people forget that. I think a lot of people need to remember that it is just entertainment. And it is just worth, you know, making fun of and laughing at. But at the end of the day, you need to be able to separate, get up, walk away, and experience real life. If that makes sense. I hope I'm making sense. And I say this because, and it's not really because of you guys. This is more of a message, and I say that because I know that a lot of you guys are, for the most part, pretty good on this. If you're not, if you need to hear this, good. But like, this message is less for the people that are here right now, and more for the people that I know probably could hear this. There's a lot of people that get very depressed over stuff that happens on the internet. And I'm not going to say I'm a perfect person, because I have gotten depressed over some stuff that has happened on the internet. And they think it's the end of the world. Oh, this content creator, they're gone. My life is over. It's horrible. It's evil. And it's just like, chill out, man. Chill out. The world is not over. Shit is not going to end because this one thing has to change. And short touch grass? Yes. Like, that's just not how it works. The universe and the world in general is a beautiful thing. Oh, excuse me. What you do on Earth does matter. But what you do on the internet, unless it's job related or family related, really doesn't matter. You know? And you got to remember that. Because I think some people get too deep in it, and it kind of worries me sometimes. I don't know. I don't know. That's just my two thoughts on it, because I think a lot of people get a little too uppity about it, and they shouldn't be. Anyway, I wanted to mention Shondo's apology. And again, I am being a little touchy because she has mentioned that she is in a hospital. And I do believe it. I know that there was some question as to whether or not it's true. I think just in general, you have to be extremely careful when you question that kind of thing.
MommaOcco.
Simon sent $5 for more hats. What do you think the long-term psychological effects of tubing/streaming be on the individual? How will people like you and Bao be and act in 30 years?
MommaOcco and Hirohei are part of the problem.
Internet Sin Master found out Mom is part of the problem and gave her $10. You say that, but then there are the streamers who really think they're changing the world. See Hassan, who's now getting rejected by his idol Mom Donnie, not realizing he hasn't changed the real world.
I'll tackle the first one first. What is the long-term effects of VTubing and streaming on the individual? Well, on the viewer, I think that it's multifaceted. Here, I'll switch back to this. I think, we'll focus on the viewer first. I think for the viewer, just long-term, I have seen a lot of people, to be fair, this isn't like new behaviors in the parasocial-esque world. I think the thing is it's a little different now because it's combining one thing that people really like, which is anime, with another thing that people really like, which is streamers, with another thing that people also really like, which is women and sometimes men. So it really depends, but like the long-term effects, I think that people are going to become more parasocial. I have seen some people completely recluse themselves from the world. And that's really depressing and fucked up. And I will say this as well. I do believe that there's like multiple people, unfortunately, who have decided to look at how people act. And I'll use Bao as an example. There are men, I believe, out there in the world, and this is really depressing to think of, who think that there are women all over the world like Bao. And I am telling you that is not true. All right? I am telling you that is not true. There are so many normal people in the world. You don't need to convince yourself that the world is built up of a bunch of man-haters. Okay? And I'd say the inverse for women, too. Alright? And I know this because I have been in the real world. I have observed the real world. I've been out on the streets. I've talked with people. I've lived with people. I know that it's not all the case. Yeah, I believe that there is a decent chunk of people that have jaded themselves to be like that. But I know that there are real people out there. And you just have to go out and look in the real world. I don't believe that the world is just like Reddit, where you've got the guy that says that his wife wants an open relationship to discover herself. I don't believe that's always the case. In fact, I think a lot of the times those are fake stories just for clout and clicks. You know, I don't believe that all women are insane. And on the inverse, I don't think all men are rapists and creepy dudes, you know? And so I think that we as people need to be willing to go and look. And if you're hurt, trust me, I get it. You're going to be hurt. You'll need to recover. That's fine. But if you've never even tried, you got to try. Because you got to. Don't let the internet inform your opinion of real life, because the internet is not always right. And I know a lot of people might not agree, but like I just know that that people exist.
Obviously, Occo is a bad example because it's a lost cause.
I guess I'm a bad
The
example, though.
Fox, who has deemed UP a lost cause,
It's kind of
Internet
topical.
Sin Master donated $5 to help her with her troubles. This is your daily reminder that Twitter and TikTok are not real life. They make up maybe 5 to 10% of the population. Remember to touch grass, folks.
No, yeah, pretty much. That's a good way to sum it up. Anyway. To say what the impact will be on people like Bao and other female streamers. On the inverse, you know, you've got women like Bao and all of her girly friends that act like this. I think they are going to be lonely or hateful their entire lives. I'm going to be real with you. I kind of fear for the guy that Bao does shack up with. Because it sounds like she'll be a sex fiend one day and then a man-hater the next. So whoever she decides to get with, good luck to you, buddy. You've got my salute for you. Because she just sounds like a sad, strange little woman, in my personal opinion. I hope that answers your question. Hope that answers your question. Whoever it is, run. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. She will destroy his life? Probably. Yeah, probably. Probably. And I do agree that it is funny that Hassan got rejected by Mom Donnie, who was elected in New York. That was pretty hilarious in my personal opinion. All I got to say is, sorry, Hassan, but you're kind of a creep and nobody likes you. And I don't feel bad that your idol has rejected you. You can make a collective S to spit for Hassan getting rejected by Mom Donnie, who won the mayoral election for New York yesterday. It was really hilarious.
Obviously, Occo is a bad example because it's a lost cause.
The anti-fox who has deemed UP a lost
Again, it's really funny when it does the rainbow yippee.
$5 to help her with her troubles. The real message here is propaganda is horrifically effective, and one's exp compounds that info. Just remember that everyone is subject to propaganda.
No, I agree. Oh.
Obviously, Occo is a bad example.
Another? Oh gosh.
A lost cause.
The anti-fox who has deemed UP a lost cause and Moyo. Gummy donated $5 to help her with her troubles. Do you think Bao is gonna learn any keylogin tips from Lily?
I hope not. Hopefully not, because that would probably get her in trouble, and she actually lives in America, so that might actually get her in trouble. So the answer is hopefully not. Hopefully not. It's funny though. Anyway, we'll jump back into this the Shondo apology. Like I said, this is again, I'm taking it with kid gloves just because she is in the hospital. Now, this actually there's a lot here, but she did actually apologize. Okay? Unlike last time, she did actually take time to apologize. Now, a lot of people have said don't ever apologize. My opinion is when there's something stupid that people are getting on you for, like when it's woke against non-woke, yeah, don't fucking apologize, because they're telling you that you're being racist or you're being homophobic or whatever. Yeah, don't apologize for that shit because it's dumb and retarded. But, you know, when you call somebody a pedophile or a groomer, you probably need to apologize, in my personal opinion. So I feel like there's a bit of a difference. Now, I do feel like some people kind of went too far with their speculations or just how they acted. But, you know, it's whatever. We're moving on, you know. She's apologized. People have accepted it, and we're just going to move on, basically. So what she says is, this is Fallen Shadow. I am safe and doing better, but I felt the need to reach out to you on a few really important matters before I resume my internet break.
Search Impus Banana and discovered mom has milkers and gave $5. That's kinda the confusing thing about Bao, cause she already transcended being a tuber. She is multifaceted. She has real star power. Why do this?
Well, I think you kind of answered your own question. She has star power. If you're, this is just kind of something to expect from Hollywood actors and just stars in general, you know? VTubing really is becoming its own, like, Hollywood. Although it's not called Hollywood. It's just like its own agency of, or like sphere of acting. And that's just how they act. That's just how they act. So, was the poll for Bao or Shondo? The poll is closed. It was for Bao. We're not going to do one for Shondo. We're not going to do one for Shondo. Shondo's fan base really irks me. Yeah, I've seen some of them be retarded. But not everybody's fan base is going to be smart. Not everybody's fan base is going to be good. You mean, don't you mean indie VTuber? Sure.
VTuber with a jester / octopus mommy MILF avatar.
Avenged 900 tipped Octopus Mommy MILF $10. Understand what you trying to say here, but I have to be careful or I might end up like iDubbbz.
No, you're good. You're good. You're good. And what I'm trying to say is there are normal women in the real world that are looking for normal men. There are normal women that want normal men, all right? They are out there. Some of them are trying to advertise themselves on the internet. But there are both sexes that are begging for you to go find them. Your job is to learn the red flags and then go seek the people with the least amount of red flags. So, learn the red flags, ask questions, figure out, all right, what a good person is, go from there. Okay? They exist. I promise you they do. It is not a doom and gloom world where all women are evil, thankfully. You just have to be able to find them. You know? Anyway. We'll read this post. Here. I'm actually going to change the music here. Just because I feel like... Not that one. Not that one. That one. I'll be honest with you, I just kind of wanted something quieter. Am I saying that to us or yourself? I'm saying that to every man. Every man needs to kind of hear that, you know? There's normal people out in the world. You just got to go find them.
You really are such a considerate cutie. Our Tom was gifted $4.99 to a UP. Did you see that Anime Boomer's podcast text account went crazy at Espiri too?
Yeah, I did see that. I did. It's kind of interesting. What's funny is, you know, I like Gator and I like Espiritu. Both of them got into a fight.
MommaOcco.
It's kind of funny.
Internet Sin Master send $5 for more hats. Normal women least amount of red flags. Occo, I live in the Seattle area. Those do not exist around here. Half joking.
Okay, but that's Seattle. You got to live away from Seattle, all right? I can't help you. You live in a dangerous area. That's like going into the jungle hoping that you find the monkey that doesn't tear your face off. Okay? You can't say I live in the jungle and then say that you're gonna get out of there alive looking for something. You got to get away from the jungle. Move to a clean open land to find stuff. Anyway, I don't know. There could be whole conversations I have on that. I'm not the best at it. Like I said, I'm single, but I just know they exist. I just know they exist, and we need good men to find those good women, basically. That's all I'm going to say. Anyway, I need to turn this down a little bit more. Literally, the only good thing to come out of Destiny was the music and some of the gunplay, and this is like one of those two things right now. Anyway, let's continue this. First of all, I am so sorry to anyone that I have worried with my recent behavior. I suffered a schizoaffective episode recently. I think this was triggered by stress and a lack of sleep and rest due to the prolonged Shondo-a-thon, but I genuinely didn't realize there was a problem until I had a catatonic psychotic lapse and had to be briefly hospitalized. Yeah, so this woman has been doing a subathon for multiple days, and yeah, that's kind of what happens when you have little sleep. You start to, like, have issues.
Obviously, Occo is a bad example because it's a lost cause.
I love that clip so much.
A lost cause, and Ender Lollipop Guy donated $5 to help her with her troubles. Hate all these Twitter people that tell me to off myself over Lolly being so worried about Shondo and defending Bao. Lolly got his requiem, the whale.
Indeed. Yeah. Anyway, this is why, like, when you have a subathon, you try to get 6 to 8 hours of sleep still. Okay? Still sleep. Don't stay up late. Bad idea, alright? We need a treasure map? Yes. Yes, we do, chat. I would like to sincerely apologize to anyone I worried or frightened with the stream that happened in the early hours of October 31st, and with the way the Shondo-a-thon had to be cut short. I was not lucid, and I genuinely have no clue how I went live. If anything I said or did scared you, I am so sorry, and I hope that you know that things I can say or do during these times don't hold any substance, and it's just random brain babble. Yeah, for those that don't know, she did have a stream before she went to the hospital where she was incoherent and, like, she was crying and she was, like, babbling. It was really bad. It was one of those, woman, go to the hospital right the fuck now. It was really bad. It was so bad that I was just like, I don't want to listen to this on camera at all. It feels disrespectful to listen to this. All I can do is assure you I am okay and safe and mostly just embarrassed by it all, and I will do my best to make sure this never happens again. Now that I am more stable and back home, it is very easy to see that I was declining for quite a bit before the event, but I was too busy streaming to check in with myself and realize. I've been asked by my family to take a break from the internet for the time being and to spend some time with them and to rest up and get myself properly stabilized again. I'm feeling a lot better than I have in a while already. I'll be touching some grass, eating healthy, and starting a session with my new therapist and psychologist in a week or two. Oh, that's nice. Get therapy. Therapy is fine. Don't take it like iDubbbz does, where he replaces his therapist that doesn't tell him what he wants to hear. I really want to get better. Additionally, regarding merchandise, the deadline is now passed, but the storefront is, of course, still open. I'll be reaching out with the customer service emails to resolve all existing inquiries within the next day or two. And we'll close all orders for real on November 10th. If you have an inquiry... Oh, wow. She did not spell check this at all, I just realized. Or issue with your merch order, please fill out the contact form ASAP so I can resolve it before I close orders. Thank you, everyone, for your kindness and patience with me. I am so sorry for being in so much trouble all the time. Please be nice to yourself and others for me, Shadow. So there you go. That was that was her apology. And, you know, I appreciate that. She recognizes she's having issues, and she's like, I probably need to touch grass. I probably need to walk away and and get better. You know, that's the second tweet. Oh, fuck, where is it? Oh, yep, you're right. You're right. I even retweeted it. You're right. Here it is. Here it is. So this was the other one that she posted where she apologized to Floki for calling a groomer. I was like, wait a minute. I feel like I'm missing something here. Here it is. I am feeling much more stable, and I would like to now sincerely apologize for my recent behavior on social media. I don't believe in using mental illness as a crutch or an excuse, and I would like to take full responsibility and accountability for how embarrassingly dumb I've been. Floki, I am sorry for the mean tweet. It was pretty pathetic to involve myself for no reason. It was incredibly thoughtless for me to call you a groomer. I do not literally actually think you are this, and I just thought you were being a jerk, and I genuinely just don't think of what that word would imply. I have a blunt, very British, very crude sense of humor, which is accurate. British people are typically like that. And I throw around words like groomer or whore in a joking way all the time on stream, but I don't actually think anyone is a literal nonce or prostitute when I say these things. It's just dumb, bad jokes. I screwed up by forgetting I was in on an entirely different website responding to someone in a way it would be impossible to glean context from, because context matters. Someone who throws around words like this to complete strangers just isn't the person I want to be. I literally did not even consider that my actions could cause you upset or make people attack you. I am deeply sorry if my words hurt you or anyone else who saw it. Usually when I see a post on here that makes me angry, I do my best to keep any hateful or bitter thoughts to myself. I said the quiet part out loud, though, recently, when I'm very thoughtless. Just tweet the first mean thing that came to my head rather than pushing it out of my mind and moving on. Yeah, good sign that you probably needed to take a break. I think there is enough anger and drama already, and I have always tried to stay out of it to the best of my ability. But recently, I became something I myself dislike, and I sincerely apologize. I messed up after this again by deciding to apologize to my fan base for drama whoring rather than apologizing to the VTuber population. Again, you really only need to apologize to Floki for this, because he's the one that you hurt. Rather than apologizing to the Twitter population who saw my dumb tweet or to Floki himself. It's going to sound very pathetic, but I feel like I should admit to you after I saw this creator saying mean things about my fan base following this, I thought I was justified, and, well, now I don't need to apologize. It's such an incredibly childish and hateful way of thinking, and I'm very angry that I thought this way at all, even during the lead up to an episode. Oh, excuse me. I spent a lot of my life and time on the internet being a very bitter and angry person. It comes too much naturally to me when my mental state is low, but I'm trying my best to be better. The thing I want most as a content creator is to spread love and kindness, even to those that dislike me, and I have set the worst example possible recently. I will do better. I would also like to apologize for deleting all of the related tweets as well as all of the other tweets from this time. This was done because I received an email from a known individual threatening my family if I did not remove it and apologize. What the fuck? I maniacally deleted everything I had recently tweeted in a fearful panic when I usually would have just forwarded it to my police contact and deleted the email. I don't believe in hiding or removing mistakes. I think it's important to own up to them. I appreciate that she's providing context for that. Once again, I am sincerely sorry that you had to witness this stupid behavior, and I'm sorry to Floki for any damage I stupidly caused you. I'll be taking a short break from the internet to touch grass to be with my family. I won't be discussing this again, but I understand completely if the situation has left a sour taste in your mouth. Hope I can grow and do better, because this has been a personal wake-up call as to how I need to be more aware of both myself and how I choose to conduct myself in front of the audience. I am incredibly grateful and blessed to have. Thank you for reading. Please be nice and be good, especially to yourself. I will do my best to show you that I can do much better. And I think that's all right. Who's the third party? I believe that she has a stalker or somebody that's going after her. Probably because she's a lolly. Who knows? And that's not right. And maybe she was threatened by this person. You have no way of knowing unless she shows proof, but you can take her at her word for it. I'm just gonna take her at her word for it. I know that she has had issues with people in the past, and I'll just take it as she's had a mental episode. She's coming out and admitting. Yeah, I fucked up. You know, way more than fucking Bao has done. So I am willing to be like, you know what? You fucked up. It's okay. You know? It's okay. Because people that fuck up are still able to get back up and repair. She seems more sincere than Bao? Probably. With any content creator on the internet, I'm always just kind of like, sincerity is in the eyes of the beholder. But that is something that you will have to decide yourself with the content, with the creator themselves. Now, I'm not going to bring any of it up, but I have seen some of her more loyal simps get upset with her for apologizing. I've seen some people get very mad, again, with the whole, oh, why are you apologizing? My queen would never do anything wrong. Why is my queen apologizing? And it's just like, again. And what's even crazier is it comes from the people that are on the non-woke side too, that you would think would know the difference between an apology and bending to a woke mob. There's a difference between calling somebody a pedophile and saying, oh, you suck because you said a slur, or you called somebody a mean name on the internet. There's a difference. Or for not including specific themes from a specific group of people. There's a difference. Those are things you don't apologize for because it doesn't matter. But if you call somebody a groomer, you should apologize for that. Okay? You should apologize for that. You should probably like hope and pray that your Oshi that is a lolly that banks her career on her lolly enjoying audience enjoying her. You should probably like say, hey, those are accusations that you face from other people. Okay? Probably don't want to do that. Now, the unfortunate truth is, even if she has apologized, there are going to be asshats that will use this against her. That are not people like me. I will not do that. You know, I mean, if she does it again, I will probably like say this is not good at all. Like, I will be way more harsh on somebody like Shondo if she does something like that again in a similar context. But there are going to be other people that do not like Shondo, that think that she is evil because of her being a lolicon. And they are going to use that to try and get back at her. And that's just the unfortunate truth. So, and I'm not saying I'm happy or sad by that. Well, I am kind of sad by that because, you know, if people are truly remorseful, they should be allowed to move on. And I do think to a great extent that Shondo is trying to move on and learn. I don't think some of the internet will let her, though. I think some people are gonna try and use it against her. I don't know. Anyway. That's Shondo. Let's go through some fast stuff. Number 1. Kirsch is not booted from Mythic. Now, I don't know if any of you pay attention to the busted Bint, but Bint is a guy that, again, deserves his own stream one day, I think. They are an internet, or not internet, they are a Twittard that likes to complain about 5 or 6 different people. And recently him / her / they them / whatever, and Anna Valens and Niara and Sylvie, and really just like that whole circle jerk of people, came out and alleged that people like Kirsha, people like Legal Mindset, and a couple other individuals, I think Nux was also included in there, they were saying that those people were missing from the Mythic website, that they were gone. Well, let's scroll through here. Let's scroll through here. Kirsch is a K. Oh, by the way, Mythic has a lot of creators. A lot of creators. We're gonna be scrolling. Oh, there she is. There. Oh no. Bent Bros, I don't feel so good. I don't know. I don't know. It looks like she's on the website. Uh-oh. At least Kirsch is still part of it. I didn't actually check to see if Nux is back yet. Because I do believe the problem is that the website is kind of shit. So Nux might not actually be back yet. Yeah, I don't see him back on here right now. So it could be possible that the website is still broken. Or maybe he is actually kicked out. If Nux is actually kicked out, that would be funny. But guess what? Kirsch is not kicked out. Kirsch is not kicked out. Kirsch is still there. Oh man, Kirsch still exists. So congratulations, Ben. You were fucking retarded. Fucking retarded. The thing that you have to know about Ben is they try to do anything they can to gain relevance. They shitpost, they say falsehoods all the fucking time. All right? I don't think there has been anything that, well, okay, I shouldn't say that, but it is very rare, all right, that Bint is correct on anything. They just throw whatever at the wall and hope something sticks. I think the closest thing that you could say they were right about is that the New York mayor was going to be who was elected. And it's just like, okay, I don't care. You know, I think a lot of people were thinking that was going to, I think a lot of people were hoping that he wouldn't, but I think a lot of other people were just like, yeah, that's most likely going to happen. You know? Site is fucked because they call Kirsch a succubus. Is Kirsch... she's a fox. Does she call herself a succubus? That is kind of... You know, I want to get mad at Mythic, but I am already mad at Mythic for different reasons. And I'll be mentioning that when I get to the Mizkif lawsuit. Succubus. I'm gonna just gonna you know, send that to somebody. There you go. So yeah, their website is trash in my personal opinion, but she's not fired from Mythic. She's not been fired from Mythic. Show that to Kirsch. I sent it to one of her fans that can send it to her. This is funny though. Anyway, that was just a funny thing that I wanted to show off. That was just a funny thing I wanted to show off. Let's show off this. Billy Mitchell and Nike. And what's this? He's not wearing an American flag anymore. I think it's time to cancel Billy Mitchell. I think it's time to cancel Billy Mitchell because Billy Mitchell ain't wearing an American flag anymore. I think that isn't. What the fuck, Billy? Billy, no! You're supposed to wear an American flag. Oh my gosh, he's fucking lost the plot. My king is the King of Kong, the man of America, supposed to wear American only flags, and he's betrayed my country by wearing whatever the fuck this is. I can't believe that. Just wanted to show that off. I thought that was really fun. If you don't know who Billy Mitchell is, that's fair. He is the King of Kong, the guy who got the high score in Donkey Kong like 20 years ago. It's just kind of like he's like a thing now where he's got relevance because of the Carl Jobs lawsuit, and he's kind of riding that right now. I was going to talk about the VShojo stuff, but I think I'm going to save that for tomorrow. So instead, I wanted to show something that this Black American nationalist made as a meme. I don't know if they made this original meme, but do you want to tell me what's wrong with this image? I want to wait for a moment. See if you guys can tell me. What's wrong with this image? All right. What can you what do you think is wrong with this image? All right. There might be 2 or 3 things wrong with this image. I'm waiting to see what people say. Glow if you have to. This is a leftist meme? Yes, it is. I assume it is. I don't see a right-wing person making this as a meme. So... So, Mizu pointed it out. You guys pointed out the low IQ black man, which is incredibly racist. Don't know why somebody would say that the black man has the low IQ. But Mizu also pointed out, I'm not commenting on this because it's politics. I'm commenting on this because they made the Asian girl pedophilia, the white girl easily offended, and the black guy low IQ. Sigmund Freud was so right. I find that so incredibly dastardly evil. It's just like, you can't do that to me. You can't. That's so mean. Like, you can't do that. All right? That's just racist. This might be true. That is, though, pretty racist. I just think it's funny that the person who tweeted this was the Black Tucker Carlson Jr. account. It's just... It's hilarious. Oh, wait, maybe he is a right-leaning individual. Hold on. Oh, maybe he's not. Oh. Yeah, no, he's not. He's not right-leaning. Damn. I just think this is racist, alright? This one is just... I have got to say nothing. This is just mean. It's just mean. It's just mean. Oh, fuck. All right. So before we continue and go through the lawsuit, because next is the lawsuit, we're going to start a new poll.
Oh my god, she's got milkers!
Overture Saint discovered Mom has milkers and gave $5. A bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see how it plays out.
He's actually a right-winger. I just can't prove it. Fair. He calls them Captain Planet MAGA. It's canon, yeah. Before we continue, I use the restroom. Take a short break. Take this as a $5, okay? Excuse me. Okay. So before, so we'll do that. But I gotta use the restroom. I'll play a song while I'm gone. So I got a song that we'll play. Then when I get back, we're gonna go through the Mizkif lawsuit. And while I'm gone, I am starting a poll. Vote on the poll and tell me what you think. But until then, I'll be right back.
The streets were hot, man. Oh, man. Fucking Brits were watching. They were waiting. I'm not gonna be a Tonka Saw type motherfucker. And if I get beat, I get beat. You know, I'm not going to. But we'll see if it happens. They're waiting for me to drop. And I did. Drop like a bitch. I'm about to confident in the ring as a pin. With his wings clapping his wings. I think I'll pay a visit to the gym. Keem said I ain't made for this, but I ain't lifting a weight till pay pigs. Pay for it. Spend a paycheck on makers and painkillers for my fakes. Every time I get a plane mate jealous. Dude, what kind of world is it where two little girls can lay out the underage date rapist? You think you'll get away with it? And I swear, spit and pray, you get AIDS from it. Yeah, keep an eye out. These Portuguese racists make my eyes looking at two different places. Damn, my face is clearly aware what a 5-star base is. Don't ask what my weight is, cause you would think by the way that my face hit the pavement. I was weightless when a rage pick comes back like a sadist. Knock the fuck out and repeat and replay it. Shots to the face, pop in my anus. Drop harder than the latest. Gun playlist. Shout out to my ladies, my unwanted babies with AIDS. Let's take it back to the 80s. These bitches who hate me may remember to take the shot for the rabies, okay? Next time that a motherfucker steps to me to give a rage pick, a hysterectomy, for getting stomped on the curb like a re-release. I won't cry for no poke police. The next time that a motherfucker screams and I'm quivering like a bitch on my goddamn knees. Somebody please. The next time believe I won't cry for no poke police. Yeah, I was assaulted by Grip Bong from the way to some consensual Burger King fuck for being a public figure. That's why I picked on either that or for my microscope picked on. But the clips is out there and the top pick's done. Ain't got no competition, no contest, son. This bitch is gonna have me paying child support for the rest of my life. All of 6 months, so TikTok doesn't sound like the clock. TikTok, how much time do you figure we got before we get a video released on TikTok? With my tongue wrapped around the vicious Vickers cock. Jarbo's probably gonna put out a hit song about how I took a shit in my fucking pink dog. Second, I saw a Cog with his friend King Dog. Diabetic socks were perfect to bring along. Now he's playing basketball with my skull. Yo, I look so masterful as I fall. Damn it, Masterson dog, answer the call. You broke now, bitch. Your hands are your balls. Plus the whole fucking farm's up in arms. Did he suck Fuentes ball sack or not? Is he just a relentless force that cannot stop riding the damn horse with no car? Next time that a motherfucker steps to me to give a rage pick, a hysterectomy, for getting stomped on the curb like a re-release. I won't cry for no poke police. The next time that a motherfucker screams and I'm quivering like a bitch on my goddamn knees. Somebody please. But the next time believe I won't cry for no poke police. Bitch.
Come here, little gun shit, you don't scare. Oh yeah, you're prepared cause you're gonna get bare. Solid punches to the face from Dan, he's here. 5-star days, bit Sue, we in the streets. We're going on a gun hunt, everyone aware. As you're dead to go live and you know that we're there. It's gonna play fair, maybe laugh and stare at your man person diabetic socks that you wear. You got thin skin and 4-inch lips. You do look 5'1" to me, bitch. Watch as you bleed, as you scream for police. Watch you spit at Dan as you ask for the beats.
Bitch, I keep it 100.
How you gonna keep it when Dan uppercuts your teeth through the ceiling? Thumbed your face like you thumbed Faith, cause Ralph ain't gonna pay for the kids that he's made.
Next time that a motherfucker steps to me to give a raised pig a hysterectomy, getting stomped on the curb like a re-release. I won't cry for no police. The next time that a motherfucker screams, then I'm quivering like a bitch on my goddamn knees. Somebody please. But the next time, believe I won't cry for no police.
Oh, you already know, baby. We're talking about law. We gotta get, like, deadly in here. Wash my hands? I always wash my hands. What the fuck do you mean? I was gone for, like, 10 minutes or 5 minutes. There's enough time. Bring out the lolly. Unfortunately, I don't have her today. She was on with Mizu. So I don't expect that she'll, I think that she'll probably take the rest of the day off because, she has a low social battery, and that's fair. I imagine she'll build it up over time, but... Anyway, so yeah, you didn't know. All of this bow shit kind of started after Mizkif was allegedly outed by his previous girlfriend for what she claimed a litany of different reasons. Now, in her stream, she claimed that he would do a couple of things. One of those things being a lawsuit. And surprise, surprise, he's suing her. Not just her, though. As the tweet says here, Matthew Ronaldo, otherwise known as Mizkif, has filed a defamation lawsuit against Emaru and Asmongold. He's also filed a lawsuit against OTK, Mythic Talent, and King Gaming Labs. Ronaldo is seeking damages for reputational harm, lost earnings, and emotional distress. So, I've seen a lot of people say that this is a bullshit and spurious lawsuit. My opinion, that I probably wouldn't be able to properly construe anyway because it's stuck in my head, but my opinion is I really don't care either way. All right? All right? In this lawsuit that will hopefully survive discovery. And by the way, if you are all content lovers, okay? If you're all content lovers, you all should want this to go to discovery. Okay? All of you right here, right now, you should want this to go to discovery. Because this, if it does go to discovery, will be the Mizkif files. This will be the Mizkif files where we get to see the dirty laundry of not just him, but any dirty laundry that exists in any of the OTK members that for some reason were involved with him and his girlfriend. And I guess allegedly OTK and Mythic Talent. So there is potential for a lot of bullshit to come out. Okay? Again, I really don't care who wins. I'm on the side of whoever is the least evil. But by the same token, I am also on the side of the content and the people, which means you guys. And for you guys, I want the content. So my hope and prayer is I hope and pray. Like, I have been like so giddy for this, and it might be weeks or months before we get anything related to this. Okay. Okay. It could be weeks or months before we get anything, but I am so excited about the potential to get some of the backroom information, because this is stuff that we never get. Never. And I'm hoping that we get all of it. Does that mean everyone in Mythic is getting sued, or just the company? Just the company. But we'll get some information about Mythic that previously we didn't get. Now, this lawsuit has opened the door, by the way. Okay?
MommaOcco and HeroHei are part of the
I'll let that go through first.
Internet Sin Master found out Mom is part of the problem and gave her $10. I make my living off the evening news. Just give me something I can use. People love it when you lose. They love dirty laundry. Don Henley.
I have not heard that one before. I mean, it's not like I live for the news. I just love listening to the crazy stuff. I want to see behind Tectone's curtain. Not just him. I want to see behind everybody's curtain. I want to see what all these people are hiding. I want to see what's interesting about them, you know? If they're not hiding anything, great, fine. But the thing, again, this goes back to my conversation that all of these people are not the same as the... It goes back to Hollywood acting. You know, all these people are hiding weird things behind the scenes, and you just haven't seen them. This has the potential to share some of that. This has that potential. And that's why I want it so bad. There's a chance I won't get it, so I'll hold myself back if I don't get it. But I want it so badly. So badly. If nothing's heading good, but yeah, if for some reason any of these people are hiding things and it comes out in discovery, because like here's the thing, he is suing all of them for defamation, and we'll get into the specifics, but you can kind of guess what he's suing them for in specific. This means that either he's doing a last-ditch effort to shut them up, which, with his reputation, I can see why people would think that. Or he must think that there is merit behind doing this lawsuit. And even if I do think he's a bit of a piece of shit because of how he's acted in the past, I will still give the innocent until proven guilty for everybody, if that makes sense. So, if it is actually the case that she defamed him and he does win on one of those merits, that is so fucking huge. That's so massive. You guys have no idea how crazy that will be. The internet will tear itself apart. Not the whole internet, but the internet that like is in this sector will tear itself apart. No, you have no idea. No idea whatsoever. This will be insane. Okay? So, this is the Pacer Monitor website. Now, thankfully, I have copies of it, so you don't have to pay $50 in order to view this. But this was filed on the 3rd, so 2 days ago. And it became public, I think, yesterday. People probably noticed it yesterday.
Because it's a lost cause.
The anti-fox who has deemed UP a lost cause and Internet Zen Master donated $5 to help her with her troubles. Let's be honest, the person least at risk in discovery is Asmongold. Fans get to hear way too much about Internet Diogenes' gross living standards.
Yeah. No, I think Asmongold probably has a good chance of getting off with that. But we don't know. We don't know. Maybe there's something that Asmongold knows that we don't. Maybe that's why he's being included. We don't know. Who knows? But it's possible. Who knows? So this first part of the complaint is just a complaint. Includes the filing fee, followed by who filed it, which is him and his lawyer. Second one is the request of issuance for summons. Third is the notice of the attorney appearance, so who his attorney is. In fact, he's got 3 attorney appearances, so he's got 3 attorneys going through this. And then it also lists the parties here, which includes himself, which is the plaintiff, and then the defendants here, which includes Emaru, OTK, Mythic Talent, King Gaming Labs, and Zach Hoyt, which is Asmongold. So, again, we'll see where this goes. Now, Emaru being included, you all can guess why that she would be included. OTK, Mythic, and King Gaming Labs, at first glance, you might be like, why the fuck are they included? Well, we'll get into that. We'll get into that. So, this is the 12-page complaint, and we're going to read it. Where's my water? A lot of this is lawyer speak gobbledygook. I'll do my best to break it down, but I am not a lawyer. I do not portray myself a lawyer. I am friends with a lawyer. So I will not be a good retelling of this. If you want a lawyer's perspective on this, you should follow Legal Mindset or Ava. Excuse me. In fact, hold on a moment. Follow Ava. She did do a stream yesterday where she went over it, and she told me she's going to do a video where she just reads the entire thing. So follow Ava if you want a lawyer's perspective on it. I think that's important. Yeah, so go follow her. Give her attention. Mizu also read it today on Lawtism. Oh. Yeah, just pointing that out there, just so that I make sure to point out people that are smarter than me in this. Anyway, let's see here. Matthew Ronaldo, plaintiff, versus Emily, Zach Hoyt, OTK Media, One True King, Mythic Talent Management Incorporated, and King Gaming Labs, defendants. Plaintiff's original complaint. Plaintiff Matthew Ronaldo and Mizkif Enterprises, collectively plaintiffs, complaining of and about Emily Beth Shunk, Zach Hoyt, OTK Media, One True King, Mythic Talent, and King Gaming Labs, collectively defendants, plaintiffs respectively show the court. Parties, jurisdiction, and venue. Matthew Ronaldo is a natural person and resident of Los Angeles, California. Mizkif Enterprises is a limited liability company. Ronaldo is the sole member of Mizkif Enterprises. Accordingly, Mizkif Enterprises is a citizen of California for purposes of diversity jurisdiction. OTK is a Delaware corporation with its principal place of business in Austin, Texas. Accordingly, OTK is a citizen of Delaware and of Texas for the purposes of diversity jurisdiction. OTK may be served with process through its registered agent for service, Mohammed, in this place in Texas. I know it's in its public court filing, but I'm not going to read it on screen. Mythic is a Delaware corporation with its principal place in Texas accordingly, and I'm just going to skip through that. King Gaming is also a Delaware corporation. Emaru is a natural person and resident of Austin, Texas. Koi is a natural person and resident of Austin, Texas. Again, all of these are a similar address. Glad that he's using that. This court has jurisdiction over this lawsuit because there is a complete diversity of the parties, and the amount in the controversy exceeds $75,000 as per 28 USC 1332. I need Akko to get a law degree. I'd rather watch her than anyone else. Oh, I appreciate that, but I really don't want to spend a couple of years doing that. I'd much rather just let somebody else with a law degree talk about it. Glad you can read. I try. So basically, the beginning part of this argument is saying that he wants the lawsuit to be in the place that he's filing because of where the people live. Yeah, he's basically saying in these first couple of points here, these are where the people live, this is where the filing should take place, and this is where the court case should take place. Actual background. For the past decade, Matthew Ronaldo has been working tirelessly to build a career in the demanding live streaming and content creation field, primarily on YouTube, a video sharing platform, and Twitch, a live streaming platform. By the way, we're going to go through him kind of like going through some of his different merits. This may sound dumb. However, something that, and this is something that Mizu brought up, and I thought that was a good point to bring up. Something you should probably understand is courts are still managed by old people that don't know how the internet works, and you really need to show the merit of what you do on the internet and kind of like explain it to the courts as if it is equal to real life, so that the courts don't just like outright think that you're dumb. So I know that a lot of people are going to look at him listing his achievements and say he's glazing himself. And well, yeah, he probably is glazing himself a little bit. He has to appeal to the court so that the court doesn't just do a Vic Mignogna and throw him out. Because if you guys don't remember, over a decade ago, Vic Mignogna... Oh, that was over a decade ago, wasn't it? Might not have been directly a year ago, but it was about a year ago. Holy shit. Holy shit, that was over a year ago. But Vic Mignogna's case was, in part, thrown out for a couple of different reasons. But I think one of the reasons that kind of came about was the judge was old and didn't really understand how the internet worked. So Mizkif is probably going to try and appeal to judges that are old by saying, these are my achievements, basically. Now, I'm not going to say whether or not that's actually true. I'm just saying this is one potential reason why he's doing it. Through years of effort, Ronaldo built his online presence under the handle Mizkif, leading him to a multi-million follower presence across various social media platforms. Ronaldo's entire professional life has, during all relevant times, centered around streaming and content creation. Ronaldo became one of the most successful creators on Twitch, with a following of 2.2 million viewers as of October 2025. He was known for collaborating with other streamers, playing video games, and discussing various issues with his followers and subscribers through Twitch's chat feature. In 2021, he won Best Just Chatting Streamer at the Streamer Awards. The community that Ronaldo developed, along with his industry connections with other streamers, his personal reputation, and his business goodwill, allowed him to develop a successful business with multiple income streams from subscribers, ad placements on his videos, sponsorships, and more. So he's outlining here how his online work is leading him to money, basically. In 2020, along with certain other high-profile streamers, Ronaldo founded One True King Media brand and incorporated defendant OTK, which he remains a part owner of to this day. Defendant Shunk Emaru joined the OTK ownership in 2022. Through acts and omissions described below, defendants Emaru, Asmongold, and OTK have, acting in concert, wrongfully and based accused Ronaldo of serious criminal activity for no purpose other than to harm him, his reputation, and his business, and wrest from him control of the companies that he helped to build. So there is there is the problem he's having. He is claiming that through Emiru and all of these other individuals that they have claimed him of criminal wrongdoing, and he is claiming that the only reason they have done this is to harm him and to take control of a company that he helped to create. Ronaldo and defendant Emiru began dating in 2022. The relationship was not easy on either side. They would routinely face harassment from Emiru's followers, some of whom were stalking her. They got into arguments regularly, and Emiru threatened to end herself in many of these arguments. Emiru would dress and behave in ways that Ronaldo thought made her look unsafe in light of the ongoing stalking from some of her followers. At the end of the relationship, Emiru expressed her desire. I'm going to try and say Mizkif. I'm trying to get all of their names in there because I'm just what you guys are used to. At the end of the relationship, Emiru expressed her desire to marry Mizkif and raise children within the next 5 years. Mizkif, contemplating the tumultuous nature of the relationship to that point, could not agree to do so. He called off the relationship and moved from Austin to Los Angeles in January of 2025. 10 months later, on October 24th of 2025, Emiru hosted a live stream on Twitch. On the live stream, she lied and baselessly accused Ronaldo of psychological and domestic abuse, stalking and harassment, sexual assault, and threats of blackmail. These slanderous accusations were made live before an audience of tens of thousands and have since been viewed millions of times across various platforms, including mine. In the same live stream, Emiru gives accounts of their relationship that clearly do not support the allegations she levied. For example, in her own description of the purported sexual assault, Emiru states that she and Ronaldo were kissing, he tried to initiate intercourse, she made it clear she did not want to, and he stopped, respecting the line that she had drawn. And this is a quote from her. Quote, he started kissing me in my face and I let him do it, and then suddenly he tried to climb on top of me and aggressively shoved his hands down my pants and I screamed. And when I screamed, he jumped off me like a cat. And this is where I think a lot of people are going to get pissed off. This right here is her saying basically that she consented to it. Okay, this is the initial, she consented to it. He kissed me and I let him do it. That's consent. He climbed on top of me and shoved his hands down my pants and I screamed. That's when she's revoking consent. And then as immediately as she revokes consent, he jumped off. So already I can kind of see the problem that Emiru is going to have if this does actually like go far. Because the argument could very well be made that I could see him make is, oh, I didn't assault her. She even says so herself that I didn't assault her. And the other thing that's kind of important to note is a lot of what she posted, okay? A lot of what she posted is text messages from him. Remember, we looked through those text messages live, chat. A lot of them did not look very good. A lot of them looked very bad. And I think that even Mizkif admitted that some of those were his. Okay? But, like, those text messages alone are not really, like, that... Like, it's proof that he's an asshole, and it's proof that he's kind of, like, a crazy individual. But they're not, like, proof that like, he sexually assaulted her. It's just proof that he was, like, emotionally abusive in some ways. But this is what the defamation claim is about. Okay? That right there, that's the problem. Okay? That is what a lawyer will look at and say, hey, buddy, do you want to make $1 million? All right? If I was a lawyer, if I was like in my law office and Mizkif walked in saying, man, my girlfriend she hates me. She says I hurt her. And if I was a lawyer and I went through, if I read this, I would say, would you like to make $1 million?
Obviously, Occo is a bad example because it's a lost cause.
Oh my gosh, that's such a...
The anti-Fox who has deemed you a lost cause and internet Zen master.
I'm a bad lawyer, chat.
$5 to help her with her troubles. I blame 10 years of muddling what counts as consent for creating this environment that even gives Mizkif the possibility to get out of an essay claim.
No, I agree. Because, like, let's not get it twisted. I don't like this guy. I think he's definitely, like, an asshole. I also think that he has got a lot going on that he needs to get through. He sounds like he's got some emotional and physical stuff that he's got to get through. Probably just emotional. Oh, excuse me. But, like, this right here, it is very clear cut and dry. I allowed him to kiss me. I said no when he tried to go further. He stopped immediately. Okay? Immediately. And if he brings this to a judge, anything could happen. It is not as clear-cut as he assaulted me. If you gave him consent to kiss you, and he thinks, oh, maybe I can move on, he's probably going to think he can move on. I don't care if I get shit for that, all right? All right? I'm operating off of the logic of how real people work, all right? In the real world with real people, where real people actually love each other like normal people, if you look at each other and you both have that, oh my gosh, I want this person, you're not going to ask each other at every step, hey, can I kiss you? Hey, can I, like, take your pants off? Hey, that's not going to happen, all right? A normal person would say, you know what, I'm just going to go home. Okay? I'm just going to go home. Okay? There's looks, there's feelings, and then there is verbal consent. Sounds like he at the very least got some form of consent in the beginning, and then she gave him a verbal don't to him, and he stopped. And a judge is going to look at that and consider it while making a determination if she slandered him for this. So that right there is why this lawsuit is coming out. Anyway, we'll continue. Nonetheless, she continued to defame Ronaldo and portray him as a perpetuator of sexual assault in a video she knew full well would be viewed by millions. That very same day, OTK sent Ronaldo a letter purporting to terminate his interest in the company. We'll get to that. OTK claimed it was entitled to do so based on the nature of Emiru's allegations. Emiru is the handler in which defendant Emiru operates her streaming and content creation business. OTK's letter is attached here too as Exhibit A. And we do have that letter. We'll be going through that as well. This letter asserted a number of purported breaches to the owner's agreement. No such breaches occurred. Nonetheless, OTK asserted that it was reclaiming Ronaldo's 1 million shares of OTK without payment. This letter further asserted Ronaldo owed amounts in excess of $600,000 to Mythic for management fees relating to purported breaches that did not occur. Through OTK, Mythic demanded repayment of these allegedly owed fees. This is why Mythic and OTK are being sued as well, by the way. Further, the letter falsely asserted that Ronaldo violated his agreement with King, purportedly to reclaim Ronaldo's 93,000 shares of stock in King, and demanded payment of $296,000 as a result of purported breaches that, again, did not occur. Mythic, King, and OTK made no serious investigation or inquiry into the basis for truth or truth of Emiru's allegations before repudiating their agreements with plaintiffs. Indeed, Mythic, King, and OTK did not even ask Ronaldo for comment or any information in his possession disproving the allegations. Instead, a few days after Emiru's defamatory livestream, OTK, perpetuating the defamation, put out a statement on X, formerly known as Twitter, that it fully supports its co-owner and sister Emiru and stands by her side and admires her strength in coming forward and sharing her story. In this statement, OTK falsely claimed it had terminated its relationship with Ronaldo some time ago for reasons unrelated to recent events. So they're claiming that he still is part of the company, even though they're claiming he hadn't been, which, if that's true, dude, None of these people are fucking real. None of them. They're all fake. People are all fake sons of bitches. All of them. You guys...
Oh my gosh, she's got milkers!
Internet Sin Master discovered mom has milkers and gave $5. The counter argument people will make is that Mizkif stick his hand down her pants will qualify as essay in and of itself, even if he stopped right after.
Yeah, you're gonna have a hard... I don't know. The judge is gonna have to decide that. If you are both like getting into it, and she gives you consent, or she doesn't stop you immediately, and he thinks he can move forward because you both were in a relationship, and he probably knows what your tells are, and you know what his are. I feel like that's gonna be interesting. But yeah, like if these people lied that he wasn't out of the company when he wasn't. Again, there's a reason. There's a reason. I don't like any of these people. There's a reason why I don't like any of these people. All right? You know, I just, you know, and people think I'm stupid. People think I'm stupid, that, like, I'm not willing to jump on the bandwagon, that I am critical of certain individuals, and it's just like, I'll keep my mouth shut. I'll wait. I'll wait until somebody with a bigger stick comes along, maybe with more information, even though I've gotten plenty of interesting information that I'm not allowed to share yet because I don't want to get my source in trouble. But like, people have told me things, and it's just like, I know stuff, and there's a reason why I worry about people that go to places and do things and make deals with the devil. And it's just like, you gotta... I just hope that I hope for OTK and Mythic's sake that Mizkif is wrong. Because in my personal opinion, this has the potential to hurt more than just the people in this lawsuit. Okay? This has the potential to hurt a lot of people. Okay? Maybe I'm wrong. I could be wrong. But this is the potential to, like, shake down a lot of these companies. So, anyway, let's continue. Let's continue. Asmongold, who streams under the handle Asmongold, is a part owner of OTK since Emaru's live stream. Excuse me. Asmongold has continuously defamed Mizkif on a near daily basis. He has claimed, inter alia, Ronaldo should be in jail, claimed he was abusing and manipulating others, hurting other people, and becoming an aggressor. For example, in a live stream that has since been uploaded to YouTube, where it garnered 1.9 million views as of the date of the filing, Asmongold states directly that Ronaldo was the aggressor and abuser in the relationship with Emaru. Asmongold would then qualify his statement by saying, at least allegedly, but disclaim the disclaimer itself by saying he has to say that for legal reasons. Asmongold has on a near daily basis reaffirmed the truth of Emaru's allegations before his millions of followers. Asmongold has also claimed on his live stream that there was another, again unspecified, act of misconduct that was the reason why Mizkif was removed from OTK. This is in direct contrast to OTK's own account as provided in its letter of October 24th. Asmongold falsely accused Ronaldo... See, that's why streamers need to shut the fuck up about this kind of shit. If Asmongold is fucking wrong... I can't wait for the Mizkif files. I will literally... I will do an all-day stream on just the Mizkif files when all this shit comes out, man. Ah, fuck. You think the Cinder streams were a lot? Imagine all these court documents where I just sit down and read them. Anyway. Asmongold falsely accused Mizkif of threatening Emeru's employees at TwitchCon, a recent streaming convention. Asmongold has enriched himself personally by advertising revenues and subscription fees garnered from his smear campaign against Mizkif. Even some of Asmongold's own viewership noted he was drama baiting for viewers. The combined coordinated attacks of Emeru, Asmongold, OTK, Mythic, and King have caused serious and lasting damage to Mizkif's personal reputation and his business. Since the defamation occurred, Mizkif has been losing followers and subscribers on a daily basis. Mizkif anticipates the loss of existing sponsorships and increased difficulty in securing future sponsorships. Regretfully, the extreme nature of misconduct here has compelled Mizkif to file suit. Count 1, breach of contract, OTK and King. Plaintiff incorporate the allegations of paragraphs 1 through 32 by reference as it is set forth fully herein. OTK breached its ownership agreement with Mizkif by purporting to oust him from ownership when no event of breach or default giving it authority to take such action had occurred. OTK acknowledged it took no effort to investigate the alleged breaches, claiming it in its own words that OTK is not involved in, nor aware of the content of such personal matter that Mizkif or Emeru may have with each other. Nonetheless, OTK anticipatorily breached its contract with Ronaldo based on Emeru's allegations. Similarly, King breached its agreements with plaintiffs by purporting to divest them of their stock in King when no breach or event of the default permitting the same had occurred. These breaches of contract have caused damage to plaintiff by purporting to divest them of over 1 million shares of stock owned in OTK and King. Count 2, defamation. Plaintiffs incorporate the allegations of paragraphs 1 through 37 of the complaint as if set forth fully herein. Defendants Emeru and Asmongold have repeatedly published untrue defamatory statements concerning Mizkif to an audience of millions, painting him as a rapist, domestic abuser, and emotional abuser. You might not get off on the emotional abuse part, my man. These statements were made with actual malice. Emeru and... in my brain. Asmongold knew at the time that they published these statements that they were false. On belief and in information, Emeru and Asmongold knew that they stood to benefit from Mizkif's outs from OTK and the associated companies and coordinated timing of their statements to maximize injury inflicted to plaintiffs. These statements have caused severe damage to plaintiffs' reputation and business and have caused severe emotional distress and mental anguish. Count 3, declaratory judgment. Plaintiffs incorporate allegations... Okay, we're going to skip that. An actual controversy exists between plaintiffs, OTK, Mythic, and King concerning the purported breaches that defendants allege plaintiffs committed and the efficacy of defendants' attempts to unlawfully divest plaintiffs of their interest in companies. So here's an interesting thing. He is alleging that they are trying to take away his shares without paying him, and then also asking him for fees. Crazy if true. Very crazy if true. And they're going to have to come up with a lot of good reasons in order to say why that's okay. Okay. Very, 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 very crazy if true. Let's see. An actual controversy exists between plaintiffs concerning the amount demanded by OTK and Mythic for unlawful management fees, which are neither due nor owing. Controversy exists concerning the wrongfully accelerated promissory note, which OTK had no legal basis to make demand upon. Court has jurisdiction to issue declaratory judgment under 28 U.S.C. So he's saying you can issue declaratory judgment if you want to. Attorney's fees. Based on the actions of OTK, Mythic, and King, Mizkif has been forced to retain the undersigned counsel to protect his interest and is accruing legal fees. Pursuant to Texas Civil Practice and Remedy, Code 38001, Mizkif enterprises are entitled to recover their reasonable and necessary attorney's fees. They are further entitled to attorney fees under Texas Civil Practices and Remedy 37009 in connection with the declaratory relief sought. Plaintiffs further claim any entitlement to attorney's fees that they may have at law or in equity. Damages. Plaintiffs have been damaged by the acts and omissions of defendants in the following ways. A, reputational harm. B, loss of business goodwill. C, loss of earnings. D, loss of future earning potential. E, emotional distress. And F, mental anguish. Oh, excuse me. Conclusion and prayer. Wherein promise is considered, plaintiffs Mizkif pray that this honorable court, after trial, enter judgment against defendants. By the way, he's not asking for a bench trial. He's asked. So if you don't ask for a bench trial, a judge is probably going to preside over it. So, which is probably going to work in his favor, because a judge is going to be less like heart-feely, and a bench trial would definitely have, or excuse me, a trial by your peers would be way worse for you, if that makes sense. Let's see here. Mizkif prays this honorable court enter judgment against these defendants, awarding plaintiffs such damages as determined by the finder of fact, awarding reasonable and necessary attorney's fees, awarding pre- and post-judgment interest at the maximum rate allowable by law, declaring that OTK, King, and Mythic have no claims against plaintiffs, declaring that OTK and King's attempts to divest plaintiffs of their interest in the companies at issue were ineffective as a matter of law, and granting such other and further relief as to which plaintiffs may prove themselves entitled at law or in equity. And then signed by all of these people who are his lawyers. Cool. Trial by peers, notoriously simpy for a crying woman. Yeah, him going for a judge is a good idea. They'd rule against him for looking like JD Vance. How mean, chat. Okay, so one thing he did include in here, I'm not going to read the entire thing, but he included it as a note, which, if a lot of this is true, doesn't really look good for him. This is one of those things where don't know why you included this, buddy. But, like, this is basically, like, his breach of agreement that OTK is claiming as the reason why he has to owe them a lot of money. And some of the stuff in here... Oh, you know what? I'll just read it. I'll just read it. So, this is on October 24th, 2025. Second notice of termination and repurchase. So this is the second notice of them terminating him. And a demand for repayment. This letter shreds half of his claims. If a lot of it is true, then yes. If any of this is wrong, then it doesn't matter, in my personal opinion. Dear Matt, on or about November 6th of 23, OTK issued you its first notice of termination and repurchase from OTK. As described therein, the first notice was issued as a result of your material breach of your owner's agreement between you, OTK, and its company affiliates, dated October 20th of 22. Specifically, OTK referenced you course of misconduct, including multiple instances of unwanted physical contact / violence, as the basis for its determination to terminate your engagement with OTK and exercise OTK's right to repurchase all of your shares of OTK stock in accordance with the promissory noted date of November 6th of 23 and as subsequently as amended effective January 24th, 25. OTK has now learned that you have furthered your course of misconduct involving violent threats, disparaging remarks, and blatant disregard for OTK and its company affiliates, collectively the company, including without limitation King Gaming Labs and Mythic Talent Management. And by the way, this is the tie that proves that OTK and Mythic Talent are the exact same thing. Just an important thing to include in there. As a result, the company must take additional actions to address your misconduct and ultimately terminate any and all relationships between you and the company. As fully set forth below, your continued pattern of misconduct and breach of the owner's agreement have caused OTK, KGL, and Mythic to terminate their respective agreements with you and pursue claims against you. As recently as Saturday, October 18th, at TwitchCon in San Diego, California, you made threatening remarks directed at Emily Emaru, an OTK member. Again, they have to prove that this is true. She claims that this is what happened, but they're going to have to prove it. Upon information and belief, your threats to Emaru were made through individuals adjacent to both OTK and Emaru's personal business, and they pertain to potential allegations against you by Emeru of an exceedingly sensitive nature. Upon learning of the potential allegations, you threatened... Here, let me zoom in a little bit. You threatened personal and professional harm to Emeru in an effort to silence her from publicizing her allegations against you. While OTK is not involved in nor aware of the content of such personal matter that you or Emeru may have with each other, OTK will not tolerate threats or misconduct by you towards members of the OTK community. The nature of Emeru's allegations, in tandem with your hostile response to them, represent only the latest but yet some of the most egregious instances of your misconduct in violations of your owner's agreement. In addition, on other recent occasions, you have made and published disparaging remarks about OTK and its talent on social media in contravention of the terms of the owner's agreement and association with social media policy, including but not limited to the following statements. These are some of the statements he said. F streamers, F all of them, F everybody, F phase, F the fourth floor, F OTK, F everybody. I'm going to start being a solo streamer. I never need anybody, they need me. OTK failed miserably. No one wanted to buy it. It didn't make sense for anyone to even purchase OTK or run and operate OTK, so now OTK is very small. I wonder how true that is. He says that, but I wonder how true it is. OTK has also recently learned that you have committed additional willful breaches of your owner's agreement by violating the exclusivity requirements of your talent management representation agreement with Mythic, dated January 2nd of 23. Specifically, you engaged third-party agents to perform the agent services in direct violation of the representation agreement, resulting in you having entered in extra contractual agreements during the term with a total estimated value of more than $4 million. I think that means getting a contract with somebody else. As you know, Mythic is entitled to its management fee under representation. So they're claiming that he got management by somebody else. For each agreement entered in during the term of the representation agreement, irrespective of whether the agreement properly reported or negotiated by Mythic. As such, Mythic is entitled to more than $600,000 in overdue management fees. Jeez. Related to your extra contractual agreements made outside of the representation agreement. In addition, Mythic is entitled to 5% interest per year on all overdue management fees, plus costs and attorney's fees associated with enforcement of representation agreement. Ooh. In manner consistent with your prior misconduct, the allegations, threats, disparaging remarks, and your willful breach of the representation agreement clearly tend to injure the success of OTK and its affiliates, pose a present future liability to OTK, and publicly bring OTK into disrepute, in addition to being offensive, vulgar, scandalous, and defamatory. What is defamatory there? Is he saying that... Is it defamatory that he... Oh, okay. We'll have to see what they mean by that. Not only does the misconduct constitute the latest example of your habitual breach of your owner's agreement, but it sends a clear message that you do not value your relationship with the company, nor are you aligned with the company's best interests. At the time of the first notice, the company elected not to exercise this termination and repurchase rights under the owner's agreement, although it explicitly reserved the right to do so in the event of any future breach by you of the owner's agreement. In light of the foregoing misconduct, please be advised that the majority of the board directors, which I believe also probably has Emeru on it, if I'm going to be real, have elected to terminate the owner's agreement on behalf of KGL and repurchase the entirety of your 93,012 vested and unvested shares of KGL in accordance with the terms of the owner's agreement. Effective immediately, you will no longer render any services to KGL, nor will you be publicly affiliated with the company in any way whatsoever. As such, and pursuant to Section 2 of the owner's agreement, please immediately remove all references to the company and any use of the IP from social media websites and anywhere else you may indicate affiliation, which is probably why he did remove it from his stuff. Give me one moment. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Sorry, I was sent something. Nice. Let's see here. As were the circumstances of OTK's previous repurchase of your stock, all shares of KGL stock held by you will be repurchased on such terms and set forth in the promissory note attached here too as Exhibit A, notwithstanding your separation from OTK and KGL. All other existing agreements that you have with the company will not terminate and will remain in full force and effect, including without limitation the surviving sections of the owner's agreement. Furthermore, the aforementioned misconduct and your continued complete and utter disregard for the provisions of the owner's agreement have now given rise to certain rights and obligations under the promissory note. As a preliminary matter, please accept this letter as a notice that OTK has hereby elected to purchase the remainder of your shares pursuant to Section 1 of the promissory note. In addition, please be advised that OTK, through the determination of the majority of its board of directors, has voted to exercise its right to terminate and cancel the OTK note pursuant to Section 3. Accordingly, all of the 1,109,139 shares of OTK that were eligible for repurchase and the promissory note have hereby immediately vested as property of OTK without any further payment or obligation owed to you. They just took them back. They just took them back. That's crazy. Moreover, as a result of disparaging remarks and your continued breach of the owner's agreement of the OTK promissory note, dictates that you must refund all amounts remitted to you in connection therewith. Therefore, in addition to the overdue management fees in excess of $600,000 that is subject to collection by Mythic, OTK hereby demands that you remit payment to OTK in the amount of $296,000, accounting for a full refund of the funds remitted to you under the OTK promissory note by no later than November 1st of 25. In the event you fail or refuse to do so, the company will utilize every legal remedy available to it to recover the full amount due owing under representation agreement and the OTK promissory note, in addition to costs and attorney's fees associated with thereof. Well, I think that time has passed. The terms of this letter are confidential, and the information of the company are protected from disclosure pursuant to existing agreements between you and OTK. As such, you shall not divulge. Uh-oh. 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 He might have divulged it. Uh-oh. You must cease and as such you're not should divulge, publish, or otherwise communicate the terms of this letter or any existing agreement. You must cease and desist from publishing any public messaging in connection with your relationship with the company, and any actual or threatened breach of confidentiality by you will be met with swift legal action by the company. He might get sued by posting this. Oh boy. In no way has the company and/or its legal representatives provided you with any sort of legal advice or recommendation regarding your termination from the company. The company reserves all rights. If you should have any questions regarding this letter, please contact me. Otherwise, OTK expects full and complete compliance with this letter. Thank you for the raid, Dama. Welcome. OTK wishes you the best on your future endeavors. You can show this doc to his lawyer. It's fine. Very true. Yeah, this is interesting. Watch Ava? Yes. Watch Ava, for sure. And I'm not going to say that Legal Mindset... I mean, like, Legal Mindset definitely is part of Mythic. But, like, I have not seen yet that he is biased. I know that he definitely thinks that Mizkif is retarded. And, you know, I kind of agree.
Thank you,
I don't know
user,
what Legal Mindset thinks. But I definitely just want this to get to Discovery. Even if he loses, I would like him to get to Discovery. As long as we can get it to Discovery, that's all I want. You know? That's all I want. Oh, YouTube will now generate dual streaming. I'll have to try that out now. I just learned that. Cool. Anyway. So, those are the readings. Those are the readings. I hope you enjoyed that. But we're not done. We're not done just yet. Okay. So, What does Tectone think? Let's hear what this man has to think. The guy that said he's going to step away from the internet, he's got to give his opinion on this. Let's hear what Mr. Eggman has to say.
I understand why you're doing it.
Oh, gotta turn him up. Gotta turn him up.
I understand why you're doing this, Miz, and you're not doing this because you're in the right. You're doing this because you're small.
By the way, I really don't care about his opinion because he knows stuff in the background as well. So, by the way, I'm going to make this incredibly known to all of you. Don't listen to any of these people that are associated with this lawsuit or associated with the company. That includes Asmongold, Tectone, any of them. Because they're going to come out and their job now is to be the PR. All right? You may like them, but your opinions are going to be, should not be shaped by them. All right? I'm surprised Tectone getting sued. Well, he's not streaming right now. All he's doing is tweeting about it. So his tweets don't really count, in my personal opinion. But do not listen to these people because they have switched from just saying whatever they want to being in PR mode. All right? All of these people are going to have opinions. All of these people are in the same company. They all say the same things. And anything could be said to try and waive your opinion. But I'll tell you who should be listening. Mizkif. Mizkif will be listening. And I should say again, I'm not on anybody's side, but the content side, all right? This is content, all right? I will tell you right now, I don't care who wins, all right? Mizkif wins, that's funny. If OTK Mythic wins, that's fine too, all right? I don't care. Either side is fine with me. I just think that both sides are a little crazy right now. But either way, this is insane. you shouldn't be on either of these people's sides. Okay? None of these people's sides. Don't listen to either of them. Not Mizkif, not them. They all are going to go into PR mode. All of them are going to say whatever they can to get you on their side. And you should not listen to any of them. You should listen to the court. And you should do yourself some study. This is not good study. At all. All right? These people are not worth studying from. These are people that are just trying to get attention. Tectone maybe less so because he's not making money doing this. But he's still trying to remain relevant. You know? But don't listen to any of these people. Or if you do, recognize that you should only listen with like half, with a grain of salt, with a mountainous grain of salt. Because their goal is to get your brains on them. That's it. That's it. And it should be fucking common to expect that. But some people are so fucking retarded on the internet. Some people are so fucking, oh, my content creator that I love, he'll never do something wrong. Oh my gosh, Mr. Tectone, he's obviously never done anything wrong. He's never called somebody a pedophile. He's never said things that are wrong. He's never stolen things. Or Asmongold, he's never done anything wrong. And as far as I know, Asmongold is mostly fine. So, you know. But like the thing that you have to understand is all of these people have reasons to lie. All of these people have reasons to tell the truth. And at the end of the day, they don't care about whether or not you know the truth. They care about their own self-preservation. Okay? So, just remember, when you listen to Asmongold the next time, because I heard he talked about this today. When you listen to Asmongold, when you listen to Emaru, or Mizkif, any of them, you have to ask yourself, are they saying this because they want to inform you? Or are they saying this to save their ass? Or to be a PR? And when you do that, it starts to make you see things in a whole different light. Let's continue.
You're petty. You're afraid, and you're lashing out the only way you think that you can.
Do you speak from experience, Tectone?
And it's embarrassing. It really
Yes, it is embarrassing when you lash out, Tectone.
is. And it's a shame because as the most egotistical person I've ever met, you'd think
Dude, is he speaking in front of a mirror right now? This is hilarious.
you'd have some pride left, but you don't. You're just a small man, and everything that comes out, the hair transplant, the steroids, the begging streamers to collab and then calling them a leeches just for optics. Mizkif.
My goodness, he is like just throwing anything he can to try and trash Mizkif. Projection much? He mentioned hair transplants. I don't know if Mizkif actually has had hair transplants, but again, that's just it's really funny.
Everything you do is to inflate your already overinflated ego to make up
My man, your mirror is cracking and breaking.
For your lack of self-worth because you have none. And I think this really goes to show just how embarrassing this entire situation is. And honestly, I do think you should be ashamed of what you're doing right now. You will not win. This will not end in your favor, and you are completely fucking yourself. I'd say something to Emmy and Asmund, but I'm sure they're fine. I guarantee you they don't give a fuck, because this is the most embarrassing lawsuit I've ever seen.
We'll see. Is it more embarrassing than the one that you're going through? I don't know. Maybe it is. Still would like to know the outcome of that one. Hopefully it happens sometime. Speaking of legal mindset, by the way, he thinks that Mizkif is going to lose the lawsuit hilariously. Okay. Well, I'll have to see why he thinks that. I think that, you know, I guess there is just a chance that it will get dismissed outright, but we'll see. He says that Mizkif has opened himself up to reputational destruction while suffering the pain of discovery and legal fees. Yeah. I mean, like, I assume that Mizkif understood that. So, okay. Okay. I'm confused. Do people not, like, yeah, maybe Mizkif is retarded and doesn't know what is going to happen. But, like, do people assume that Mizkif didn't get that when he was going to sue, he'd be open to discovery? I'm really confused. Why are people acting like he's not ready for that? I'm assuming that, like, day fucking one, his lawyers are like, you know, if this goes to discovery, your shit's coming out. I'm really like, why are people assuming he didn't know that? But I don't know. I don't know. That's basically it for the lawsuit. However, I got one final note. All right, I got one final note. Give me one moment here. Do you want to know who won? Do you want to know who walked out of this and, you know, isn't gonna suffer because they're not involved anymore? You know who's not part of any of these companies that dodged a bullet, I would say? Who just gets to walk along as they just get to be themselves, you know, they you know who? Sorry, I'm saying this while I'm trying to, like, find a song that would be funny to play. You hear? Oh, goodness. Hold on a moment. I want to play that one. Hold on. You want to know who it is, chat? Obviously, it's Cinder. This woman left Mythic before it got hot. She noped herself out and left. She's like, you know, I really don't want to be part of Mythic anymore. And, you know, I don't know why she left Mythic, but she ain't in there anymore. And she left at the right time, I'm going to say. You know? So, you know, she's going to be on the sidelines and she's going to be playing her video games and doing her fun stuff and all her cosplays and raking in thousands of dollars from her fans that love her. But Mythic has a lawsuit now. And while I don't know what the ramifications of a lawsuit like that would be if it's not outright dismissed, I imagine that Mythic is not going to they're not going to have a fun time retaining a lawyer like that. Who knows? Maybe they will use Legal Mindset. Although they probably can't, because if Legal Mindset wants to be retained for that, he can't talk about this at all. So if he does end up talking about it, he can't be in this lawsuit or he can't be in this lawsuit and then also talk about it. So Cinder won, as far as I'm concerned. She is the queen. She knew when to jump out. And as far as I'm concerned, she is doing good on her own. So excuse me. Anyway. Oh, goodness. So that's hump day, chat. I did have a couple minor things that I was just like, I don't feel like those are good enough, you know? I did want to play a video that talked about VCard. But, I don't care. Not that much. Fun fact about VCard. If you want a funny tip, VCard apparently didn't sell so well last time, allegedly. I don't have any stats or proof. I'm just hearing that allegedly it didn't sell very well. Shy Lily said it sold out. Well, I'm also hearing it didn't sell very well. But, you know, whatever. I've heard a lot of people criticize it as being a horrible TCG. But what I will say is, again, with Cinder, there is a chance that maybe she'll show up for season 3. We'll see. That would be funny. I don't know. Anyway. That's gonna do it, I think, for Hump Day. I don't really have much else I was thinking about covering today. I think what we're gonna do is, I'm tired. I normally do game streams on Wednesday nights, but I'm tired. I might show up in somebody else's chat tonight, but I'm tired. So, I'm going to send you guys away. Temp, he just started streaming. And, yeah. Thank you, everybody, for being here tonight. Hopefully, you guys had a good one. I want to say, by the way, very much appreciate everybody that's been here today. You guys are amazing. And regardless of how everything turns out, again, with the Mizkif lawsuit, the real winners here are you and me, because I'm not part of that fucking shit show. Thank fuck. But the real winners of this whole thing, regardless of who's right or wrong, isn't either party. Because they're going to have to waste tens of thousands of dollars for both of them. But you guys are the winners. Anyway, thank you for coming today. I think all of the super chats were gone through. Let me go through the membership re-ups here. Make sure I read those, because it does not read those automatically. Tapeworm for 9 months. What day is it? It is Hump Day. Tomahawk for 2 months. What we're seeing is the changing of culture, where popular sentiment is finally going a different direction than simply shitting on men and moving on. Maybe. But it is slowly inching. Sir Chimpus Bananaton, thank you for the banana. And Nico, thank you for becoming a member. And Overture saying thank you for being a member for 4 months. All right. I think that's it. Yep. I'm going to send you to temp. Chat. You know how it do be. When you get into temp's chat, you need to spam nothing but the electrocution emoji. All right? The lightning emoji. All right? Spam this emote. Okay? Spam the cloud emote. We have to rein in the dog. All right? You must spam the cloud emote so that he knows that you're here. That one too. Anyway, I love you guys. I will see you tomorrow night for Under the Tea. Have a good one. Peace and love.